The following is a presentation of Region 11 Spring Sports on 104 The Ranch and CacheValleyDaily.com. This broadcast of Region 11 Sports is brought to you by Cache Valley Daily and the Cache Valley Media Group, covering the Skyview Bobcats, Green Canyon Wolves, Logan Grizzlies, Bear River Bears, Ridgeline Riverhawks, and Mountain Crest Mustangs. Now it's time for Region 11 Sports on 104 The Ranch and CacheValleyDaily.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Skyview High School. It's the Skyview Bobcats and the Ridgeline Riverhawks in Region 11 Spring Sports here on 104.5 FM The Ranch and also video streaming on CacheValleyDaily.com. John Newbold and Clint Payne here with you today in this baseball matchup. And Clint, we've got a good one here today between the Riverhawks and the Bobcats.
No doubt about it, John. This is a Skyview team that is desperate for a region win, and a Ridgeline Riverhawks team that needs to keep pace with Bear River and Mountain Crest. They can't drop another one here. This is going to be a great matchup. Two teams that need the win, and in the first two games of this series, both went the way of the Ridgeline Riverhawks, so you know this Skyview team's going to be hungry, and Coach Ryan Nill's going to have them ready to play. Yeah, Coach Nill talked about it all season long. Even though Skyview hasn't gotten a win on the season, it's a lineup of young guys that they leave a lot of guys on base. They just don't get the timely hits that other teams have gotten against them, and that's what they need to work on. In this series against the Riverhawks, they've had men on base. They just can't knock them home when they need to because they're getting a few hits, maybe not obviously as many as Ridgeline or other teams, but they are getting the hits. They're just leaving too many men on base. You know, that's a good point, John. Ryan Neal told me before the game when I went over and had a little chat with him. He said when we played the regional leading Bear River Bears, he said we could have been 3-0 if the game would have stopped after the fourth inning. He says we got timely hits and then the bats just went quiet. We just need to find a way to get hits when we need them down the stretch and generate some runs. And that comes with a young team. You've got three seniors. You've got a shortstop out here. This is his first year playing shortstop. Ryan's got some pieces to work with, and it's just, I think it's a matter of getting innings in, and you're going to get better as the season goes on. Yeah, and that's what they're working on. I mean, Coach Neal, both of us know him pretty decent. Right. And this is his first year as a coach here at Skyview, so he's working through it as well in his first season as the skipper for the Bobcats. So again, if you're watching on CacheValleyDaily.com, your video stream is brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. Adams Wealth Advisors, visit them at adamswealthadvisors.com to schedule a time with an advisor today. They want to understand your family, job, hobbies, and goals to earn your long-term financial trust. That's Adams Wealth Advisors. John, before you get to that next line of region, this region is an interesting region. It feels like this Region 11, again, Bear River's in control right now, but Mountain Crest is coming along. Mountain Crest is just one win against Bear River from tying that thing up, and that series is coming up, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played. Each team in this region has two series left. There's going to be some fun stuff and some drama down the stretch, I think. Well, and Mountain Crest, too, they just took 2 out of 3 against the Riverhawks in 2 exciting ball games last week. So, I mean, you're right. They're right there on the verge, and of course, everyone's trying to keep up with the Bear River Bears. So we're getting ready for the national anthem. So we'll step aside and come back right after this on the ranch.
When it's important to make an impression, call on the Logo Shop. They specialize in designing and customizing your logo onto t-shirts, golf shirts, jackets, and hats. Your logo will look great on name brand apparel from Nike, Travis Mathew, OGO, North Face, Under Armour, and Carhartt. The Logo Shop can put your logo on literally thousands of items: pens, water bottles, mugs, travel accessories, outdoor gear like Yeti coolers. Call on the Logo Shop and check out the possibilities.
The Logo Shop, the logo stuff, the Logo Shop.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
Welcome back to Skyview High School, and John Newbold, Clint Payne here with you on Region 11 Spring Sports on the Ranch, and also video streaming on CashValleyDaily.com. But Clint, this is a matchup of two Region 11 teams. Talk about some of the other teams in Region 10, because they get to practice all season with that great weather down there in the south of Utah.
Yeah, no question. They can go all year down there, John. 4A rankings, this was as of the 17th, and no surprise here, 4 of the 5 are from down south. Dixie ranked number 1, D Hills number 2, Crimson Cliffs number 3, Pineview number 4, and then Bear River, your lone team from the north here, coming in at number 5. I'm not sure I agree with Dixie being the best team in the state. John, I kind of like Crimson Cliffs myself. Crimson Cliffs is led by Trey Evans. He's got 4 home runs, 11 doubles, and 18 RBIs in the season. Good player. But not only that, but they throw Logan West out there, who's got 3 home runs, a triple, 2 doubles, and 16 RBIs. This Crimson Cliffs team's got some pitching behind him. They're tough, but again, don't rule out any of those other southern teams. Dixie ranked number 1 right now. Desert Hills has the state leader in home runs, and Peyton Gubler. He can absolutely crush the ball. But again, John, some of that comes from being able to play year round. You know, when it gets snowy here, we're going inside. You know, Skyview Ridgeline goes inside, while St. George teams just play year round. And so this just comes with more reps. For a team from up north to beat a team from down south in a series, John, it's going to come down to pitching. And looking at it, I'm not sure there's any team in the region that quite has the pitching this year, but you never know. That's why we play the game, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so we're about getting ready for the first pitch here in Smithfield. Again, this game was scheduled, the final game of the 3-game series between Ridgeline and Skyview was scheduled for tomorrow, but because of the weather and the forecast for the rain and bad weather, they moved this game from tomorrow to today. And so that's why we're here on the air, and we appreciate Dallin Dacus back in studio keeping us on the air here on the ranch. So Skyview will be starting with Cole Watterson. He's a great football player. He's got a lot of speed, and he usually plays outfield, but he's on the mound today for the Bobcats.
Very versatile player, John. You could almost play Cole Watterson anywhere. Just a really good athlete. If you've seen him on the football field, Bobcat fans, you know how good he is. But equally as good here on the diamond. One of Skyview's best players, without a doubt. There, Watterson on the season, 0-3 on the mound, but that doesn't really tell the story, John. Again, Skyview young. They're trying to string together some wins. So he's had a little bit of some bad luck behind him. Guys hitting balls in the gaps, just some miscues. But Watterson, good solid pitcher. He has a 4.53 ERA. Don't let that 0-3 record fool you, because Watterson could come in and he could dominate this game. He starts hitting his spots. John gets that breaking ball working. It could be a good day for Watterson.
Yeah, and Watterson, he will be playing at the next level. He's going to go to Edmonds College in Linwood, Washington when he's done here at Skyview. So
that's a good spot, John. I used to live in Linwood there.
Did you?
Yeah, I know Edmonds Community College well. So good for Cole. That'll be a great stopping spot for him after high school.
So for Ridgeline, the Logo Shop is the sponsor of our uniform check, and the Riverhawks in their road green jerseys with white numerals, I believe, and then the Bobcats are in their home jerseys, the black jerseys with blue numerals on their back as well. So
up to bat here for the Riverhawks. They are the visiting team. We're going to see Jackson Hollingsworth, son of Burke Hollingsworth, up here first. He wears number 6. You're going to see him at shortstop on defense. Good football player. Undersized as a linebacker, John, but had a lot of heart, and he leaves it all out there on the football field, and I assume he'll do the same here on the diamond.
So Jackson Hollingsworth, let me pull up my sheet if we have time here. I gotta find it. In this series, he's 2 for 5 in this series. The stats that I saw, he had a double so far in the first 2 matchups with 1 RBI.
Now, that would be accurate. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jackson Hollingsworth try to lay one down here, left-hander. Just try to get things started for the Riverhawks, get him on base. You see that third baseman starting to creep onto the grass, and that's probably the right play there. So here goes Watterson out of the windup.
There's the pitch right down the middle. Hollingsworth takes it, and it's a strike.
That's a good start, John, for Watterson. You always tell your pitchers you want to get ahead and stay ahead. That's the old adage as a baseball coach. Get ahead, stay ahead. So here comes pitch number 2 for Watterson.
And it's a bunt. He lays it down the third baseline. Watterson's off the mound, but he loses the ball. He tried to barehand it and throw it to first, and he just kind of bobbled it, and it allowed Hollingsworth to sprint down to first on this bunt single.
John, what a great bunt. It was almost right down the line there by Hollingsworth. You always tell your pitcher, and I think some of this is just spring baseball in Utah. The grass isn't long yet. Whenever you go to field a bunt, you want to jam your hand down on the top of that ball, right? Get it to kind of push down in the grass so you can get a grip on it. You're not able to here in this grass because Watterson made a great play on it. But unfortunately for the Bobcats, Hollingsworth gets a single out of it. So
Marshall Hansen up next for the Riverhawks and takes a strike on the first pitch from Watterson.
John, Marshall Hansen leads the region and all of 4A with wins on the mound. We won't see him tonight, but he's 6-1 on the season. Marshall Hansen, their main threat on the mound. So he'll be playing right field tonight for the Riverhawks. John, do you still Jackson Hollingsworth here?
Well, he's leading off, not a big lead off. One pitch is outside, and the catcher whips it down to first base, but Hollingsworth is back. So Skyview thought that too because Watterson pitched out on that one on the 0-1 pitch.
That's what I was looking at, and I thought with Hollingsworth's speed, it's not a bad time to to pitch out right there and maybe throw one down or try to get him going to second.
So the 1-1 pitch coming from Watterson takes a couple looks at Hollingsworth at first, leads off a little bit. Hollingsworth does. There's the pitch from Watterson, and it's low for a ball.
Bobcats, Riverhawks fans, it's not a bad day for baseball out here. This is Clint Payne and John Newbold on the call. A little windy, John, but overall the wind's kind of died down, and, it's still kind of, you can see the flag, but not a bad day for baseball. The temperature's comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was upper 60s to start the game. 1-2 pitch is high. They throw back to first. They whip it down. Tag placed, and he's safe. Hollingsworth had a little bit of a more lead than he had on the first couple pitches there.
They caught him leaning just a little bit, John, and they almost got him there with the snap throw down to first. That was close. Tucker Murdoch trying to apply the tag down there, I do believe.
So 1-3 pitch for Hansen.
Hansen looking to draw the walk here. I almost think, this is a good one to have the green light on.
Watterson's pitch, it catches the outside corner, so it's a full count.
John, it looked like he was taking that whole way. I always like a 3-1 count. I'm almost to the point where if it's anywhere near the zone, you let it loose because the pitcher wants to give you one of his best pitches, right?
Yep. Second batter of the day, Hollingsworth on first after his bunt. Pitch is there, is right up the middle, a liner. And it's going to be a great hit for Hansen. He rounds first. Hollingsworth goes to third. So Hansen with the single, and he advances Hollingsworth to third.
John, great throw by your center fielder for the Bobcats. If that ball had a little more heat on it, Cade Sunderland came up just firing, and he was about a foot away from having Hollingsworth out at third. Great arm out there. I know he doesn't usually Watterson's out there, but that was a bit of a cannon out there.
Talking about someone with fire, it's Trey Purser. He's coming into this series. He's batting .500, 3 of 6, 2 home runs, and 6 ribbies here in this series against the Bobcats.
John, Trey Purser, great hitter. He is second in 4A in home runs right now. Only Goobler at Desert Hills has more home runs.
So. First and third, Ridgeline has man on the bases. First pitch is called a strike. It looked low, but they call a strike one. Watterson got it in there.
All right, Bobcat fans, now's a great time for those Skyview middle infielders to pinch the middle just a little bit. Look for that double play. You give up the run if you can get the double play. That would be my philosophy here, John.
So Purser steps in the box. 0-1. And now a time called.
Yeah, they didn't like that. And whether that was Purser or whether that was the catcher, nobody seemed to be on the same page there, did they? That was hitter and catcher, not. And the pitcher shook him off one time. So
Ridgeline has players on the first and third. Pitch by Watterson. It's roped out to right field. That's going to score a run, and it ggets past the right fielder.
It's going to score 2.
So Hansen, he's rounding third, goes all the way back to the fence, 2 runs, and it's going to be a triple for Purser. That fire, he's continuing with 8 RBIs now in this series, 2 today with the triple.
So you have what should be a single. You just have a little miscue by your right fielder, and that turns into instead of a 1-run single there, John, you get a 2-run triple with the E9. That's unfortunate for the Bobcats. So Ridgeline up 2-0 already. No outs here. First inning, top of 1, and it's gonna be tough day here for Watterson if he doesn't if the Bobcats don't start making some plays, John.
Well, it's like you said, he just hasn't had a lot of support. So
he's hitting his spots, John.
So Davis Fulmer up to bat. He's actually going to get the start pitching-wise for the Riverhawks.
We'll see Fulmer on the mound here. This is fun, John. 2 new coaching staffs for both teams, and that always makes for some great baseball. You know, always some learning curves, right?
Yep. So ball 1, that was high and inside. Second pitch, that one high and inside as well from Watterson. So Davis Fulmer, 2-0 count.
Brushed it Fulmer off the plate just a little bit. Fulmer was kind of up on there. I don't know if that was intentional or just one that got away from him, but it was a little high and tight.
Purser on third. Ridgeline leads 2-0. Top of the first inning. Watterson's pitch inside again, and it's a 3-0 count. And Clint, with a 3-0 count, if you're Fulmer, do you just take this pitch, or are you swinging?
You take there's no outs. You take here, John. I think the numbers say if you want to play some whatever, you know, a little advanced metrics here, you take the pitch when you're where there's no outs and you're already up 2-0. We'll see what Fulmer decides to do here.
Purser on third. Pitch is down and it hits the dirt. It's going to be a walk. So Watterson walks Fulmer.
Coming up to bat for the Ridgeline Riverhawks is Carter Gill, and the Bobcats in that same precarious situation. Runners on the corners, no outs, trail 2-0 here in the top of the first. So looks like Coach Jensen's going to come down and talk to Carter Gill. Gill, the catcher for this Ridgeline team.
Yeah, Coach Neal for Skyview went out to talk to the Watterson in the infield. And Gill, I mean, not only is Purser hitting well, Gill as well. 4 of 6 in this 3-game series so far. He's had a double and 2 RBIs in the previous 2 games.
John, on the season, Carter Gill, he's a senior for the Riverhawks, hitting .372 on the season. He's got 16 hits on 13 RBIs. He's got 3 doubles. He's dangerous, John. So this is again tough situation to find yourself in if you're Cole Watterson. He's going to have to throw strikes, and his defense is going to just have to play defense behind him. Again, this is a time where you will give up a run to get that double play. So you need to pinch the middle with your middle infielders and hope you get one up the middle that you can turn into a double play and you know, get 2 outs here.
Yeah, and this game's kind of like the first game of the 3-game series. Ridgeline jumped out to an early lead on the Bobcats, and Bobcats obviously didn't come back. And the second game a little bit closer. It took a few innings before Ridgeline got going.
Watterson's going to settle in here out of the stretch. Watterson digging in. John, what pitch do you see? I think you see a straight fastball here,
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So Gill's in the box. Watterson throws to first, whips it down there, and Fulmer gets back to first in time.
Head first slide. Not really close. Just keeping Fulmer honest over there, right?
Yep. So if you're Skyview, you kind of want to just get Gill to hit into a double play.
That's what you're looking for right here. You want a double play ball. You want something up the middle, and Ridgeline looking to steal. They go right back to Watterson, and then no attempt to throw down. So now the double play's off, John.
Yep.
So.
And that pitch was high by Watterson, and Gill had to duck a little bit. So ball 1. So
1-0 count.
1-0 count. No outs. 2-0. For Ridgeline.
And really, John, any fly ball that's not shallow, anywhere in the outfield is going to score one here for Ridgeline. But if you're Skyview, you need an out, so you'll take what you can get here.
And that pitch is inside by Watterson, low and inside. It's going to be 2-0 now for Gill. And really, the wind has died down. It was coming from the west, so going right at the batters. But it's died down now.
Ball seems to be moving out of Watterson's hands, right under those right-handers. Whatever, it's just breaking towards those right-handers' hands a little bit. And he slid all the way over on the rubber, John. So made the adjustment there and then threw it outside.
Yeah. So he's not finding the strike zone. 3-0 pitch. He's maybe a little bit rattled after those first few hits that Ridgeline had. Gave up 2 singles in a row and then a triple by Purser. And then he gave up a walk to Fulmer. And now he's down 3-0 with Fulmer and Purser on second and third.
You got Big Easton Dalkey on deck, too, so it doesn't get a whole lot easier for Watterson. Inside pitch, huh? And here comes
another walk.
Here comes the big fella. Comes Easton Dalkey out. first baseman for the Riverhawks, and I would imagine Og Jensen's going to give him the green light. You swing away. You know, sometimes, John, the first pitch in account's the best pitch. If your bases are loaded, no outs, and you get one dead red, I think you unload on it if you're Dalkey here.
Yeah, Dalkey's struggling in this series. He's 0 for 4 so far in the first 2 games.
He's due, huh?
He's due, and the bases are loaded.
So Skyview needs to slide that infield in a little bit and take it away. You want to take the run away. You've got a force all over the field, so you want to slide that infield in, especially those corner infielders. So that's exactly what they're doing. Play for 2 up the middle, John. Play for home on the corners.
Yeah, no outs here in the top of the first. 2-0 Ridgeline, and the pitch is inside from Watterson. Ball 1 to Dalkey.
Hey, Bobcat and Riverhawk fans, there's plenty of time to get down here, and you can still listen to John and myself on the ranch, or you come down here and get yourself some food at the concession stand, John, huh?
That's right. Go over there and enjoy that. We need to go grab a couple hot dogs probably in between innings.
I think so. You can do both, though. Listen to us while you come down here and watch the game. That's the way to do it.
So, ball 1, no strikes. Second pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. Watterson, that's got to feel good. He hadn't pitched a strike for quite a while now.
Right. Yeah, he got that one. Hey, upcoming series, Bobcat fans. Next week, we've got Skyview and Logan. That's a really good chance for Skyview to not just get a win, but to maybe get 3, John. They're playing better in region ball than Logan is, in my opinion.
Yeah. Logan's got 1 win on the season. Skyview looking for their first. 1-1 pitch by Watterson, and it's stroked out to left field, and it's down for a base hit. It's going to score 1 and 2 runs as Dalkey gets off the snide. He was 0 for 4. He gets a single, and there's a player on second and third, no outs.
Just a little looper over the shortstop's head. The shortstop looked like he might be able to almost jump and take that out of the air, but it was just a little higher than that, and that was enough to score 2. Your man on second for the Riverhawks was running, and 2 RBI single by Dalkey. All right, Skyview in desperate need of an out here, giving up 4 runs to the Riverhawks in the top of the first. Up to bat for the Riverhawks is your designated hitter, Riverhawk fans, Caden Miller. Miller is batting for Noah Sim here. Sim will be playing second. So, hey, there's a lead. There's a strike by Watterson right out of the gate, John. That's what you want. Again, get ahead, stay ahead. That's what you need to do if you're a pitcher. Let your defense play defense.
So 1 strike. Man on first and second, 4-0 Ridgeline. Here in the top of the first, no outs still for the Bobcats.
Ridgeline swinging those bats. Watterson not really helping his cause, John. He's not hitting his spots like he'd want to. Oh, nice play.
Throws back to second, but got there back in time.
That was pretty close, John. Real nice move by Watterson to whirl and get that ball to second. I like that. That was nice.
Yeah, the Bobcats applied the tag, just not in time.
Hey, John, around the region here between pitches, let's talk about just some of these young student athletes that are leading the region both on the mound and at the plate here. We'll do that between pitches.
Ball 1's high, so that second pitch, ball 1, strike 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had mentioned Trey Purser leads the region with home runs. Riker Erickson with Green Canyon. Him and Nate Rowley are both tied. Rowley from Mountain Crest. But Purser, the only Region 11 player in the top 10 in 4A. All the rest from down south.
Well, and Rowley had 2 home runs in that third game against Ridgeline. Their comeback win in that game.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great player. Triples, Davis Fulmer from Ridgeline. We saw him here a minute ago. And Garrison Marble from Bear River. They lead the region, and that ties them both for second in 4A. And then as far as doubles go, Ashton Harrow from Bear River and Zach Gertson from Green Canyon. They lead the region in doubles, and they're third in 4A. And then Garrison Marble is right behind those 2 with 6 doubles. Garrison Marble for Bear River having one heck of a season from the plate, John. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
So 4th pitch coming, 2 balls, 1 strike. Watterson puts it right down the middle of the plate, and it's a strike.
John, that strike looked like the exact same spot as that first pitch. It was right chest high, and official called it a ball the first time, but it looked almost the exact same. Called it a strike the second time.
So Miller digs in, 2-2 pitch coming, no outs, 4-0, top of the first here for Ridgeline. Watterson's pitch is low, and it will draw the full count, so good eye by Miller.
Nice curveball by Watterson. Probably trying to get Caden Miller to chase a little bit there. Just one you can burn, but now you got to come with a strike here, John.
So Ridgeline's got players on first and second, and they lead 4-0. No outs, top of the first. 3-2 pitch coming for Watterson. The runners go, and it's foul tipped back, so it will stay a full count.
Great time to steal those runners. I mean, there's no they both got good jumps, so you get a strike. You might get a strikeout, throw them out for Skyview, or you're going to load the bases with a walk. I think I do the same thing if I'm Ridgeline's coaching staff right now, John. I steal both of them again.
Yeah, you'll probably see the same look, and we'll see if Watterson gives him a pitch to hit or tries to get him to swing and chase one. Pitch is on the way, and it's popped straight up. And is it in play? And it is. The catcher's got it.
Oh,
and he tries to throw it to first. And the player, it goes into the outfield. So as he whipped it down there, the player goes from second to third. But sacrifice fly there. Or he just popped it back. I guess it's not a sacrifice fly.
You got the out anyway. If you're Skyview, you got the one out, pop up to the catcher right behind the dish, and then if you get a good throw from the catcher there, John, you get a double play out of that. But ball looked like it just slipped out of his hand and kind of bounced before it got to first and rolled behind first, and Ridgeline Riverhawk runner advanced to third. So
up next is Max Bear. Watterson with one out. Trailing 4-0 Skyview is, and the pitch is on the way, and it's high and called a ball.
Yeah, I didn't mind that pitch there by Watterson with the first pitch. It was called high. Again, that's not one of those with kind of the same spot we've seen. The official's been a little bit inconsistent on that, the blue has. He'll get that worked out, though.
Yeah, 8th batter of the inning for the Riverhawks. One out. Swing and a miss. So nice pitch by Watterson there.
Yeah, great pitch there to Bear. Bear pulled that head a little bit down the left field line, and Watterson just threw that fastball inside on the hands. Great placement, John.
Top of the first inning still, 4-0 Ridgeline. 1-1 pitch by Watterson coming up. He throws and down there again.
Same spot, huh, John?
Yeah. And Bear's gotten a piece both times, but it's right back to the catcher for another strike. So ball one, strike two for Watterson. And he hasn't really been ahead in any of these at-bats. So he's got the lead here with the ball one, strike two.
Yeah, this is a good count for Watterson. You could waste one if you wanted here even. Throw something off speed.
There's the pitch, and it was off speed, but it's outside, so ball two, strike two as the wind picks up here.
I'm sure Ryan Nill thought the same thing that I thought. Dalkey, more of a power hitter. He's not Ridgeline's fastest player out there on first, so it's a good time a 1-2 count. You can throw an off-speed pitch and then still throw down if you need to.
So 2-2 pitch coming by Watterson, and it's roped right over the second baseman into center field, and another run will score. Great piece of hitting there by Bear. He had come close a couple times, and then he finally roped that one right over the into center field over the second baseman.
Watterson with that got him in the same place with those first two strikes and came back, and it was a little inside on the hands, and Bear just he just went, pushed it into right field right over the second baseman's head. Like John said, that was a great piece of hitting. Really nicely done. 5-0, Riverhawks lead the Bobcats here in Smithfield.
Yeah, top of the first inning, one out for the Bobcats. Watterson trying to get some more. Man on first and second for Peyton Haslam.
See what Haslam can do.
Pitch is on the way, and they call it a ball. Look, just a bit high. That was a pitch right down the middle, but just high.
Yeah. Haslam, the center fielder for the Riverhawks here. Ridgeline ends their season. It's going to be a fun one, John. They play, so there's two more series in region play, and the Ridgeline Riverhawks. The last one's with Bear River. That'll be a fun series. If you want to watch some good baseball, probably a good spot to go and check those games out, John.
Another high pitch by Watterson brings it to ball two, no strikes. Haslam in the series is 1 of 2 hitting, so again, man on first and second for the Riverhawks, 5-0 lead.
Haslam hitting .286 on the season.
Third pitch is low, but they, right at the knees, called the strike.
Good spot. Watterson needed that one, John. That was a great spot.
So ball two, strike one, one out here in the top of the first. Ridgeline's jumped all over the Bobcats in this one.
Yeah, great start for the Riverhawks. Coach Jensen's got to be pleased with the way his team has played. And Skyview not out of the woods yet here with runners on first and second. Only one out.
And another high pitch will be ball 3.
Boy, Dalkey's getting pretty cute out there. You see that? You see that jump that he got? He had a nice lead on second. He's jumped all the way out to where the shortstop would be. If you could get you could almost get a quick throw down there, John, from your catcher if he's going to take that kind of jump. You know?
Yeah. So 3-1 pitch coming by Watterson here, and it's called strike.
Wow.
Caught the inside corner, I guess.
Nice pitch by Watterson. So Watterson needs this out. He needs to get the second out because you've got the top of the River Hawks lineup coming up. Jackson Hollingsworth on deck again. Hollingsworth, fantastic leadoff hitter. So see Hollingsworth's dad back there right behind the fence, ready to cheer his son on. I've known his dad a long time, John. We played high school football against each other.
Oh, he pops it up and trying to get there was the first baseman for the Bobcats. Couldn't quite get there as it just kind of looped up over the right side.
Great effort by Tucker Murdoch, I believe, is who that was, right, John?
Yep.
Yeah, really great effort to get there. He was, didn't have to hold the man on first with a guy running on first and second, so he had a long ways to go, and he just about made it.
Yep. Peyton Haslam, still it's a full count. 5-0 Riverhawks, 1 out, top of the first inning. Watterson with the full count.
Needs to throw his best pitch here, no question about it. Skyview needs another out.
Winds up and throws, and it's knocked right back into the fence as he fouls it back, so Haslam stays alive. Well, that full count.
I like that pitch, John. I think I'd come right back with it. This guy's given a few chest-high strikes. I think I'd stay chest-high on Haslam here and see what happens. So he's struggled in this at-bat with those chest-high pitches. So.
Yeah, only 1 out here. Man on first and second for the Riverhawks and Haslam. Pitch is low and bounces in the dirt, and it's going to be another walk. It's the third walk of the inning for Watterson.
I didn't love that pitch, John. Full count, and you went off speed when you needed an out. To me, I would prefer putting the ball in play and seeing if my defense can help me out. But that's, obviously just my school of thought here. So Coach Neal coming out to the mound for the second time here, and I would assume maybe we see somebody else, John. What do you think here?
Well, the bases are loaded. We might get another pitcher. I think that Coach Neal will give him one more. Probably just try to settle down Watterson, but I think he'll give him one more batter to face, but we'll see.
Looks that way. Neal hasn't taken the ball out of his glove yet. So, again, hey, some of the better pitchers here, I'm so used to saying that, Skyview and Ridgeline fans. Marshall Hansen, again, leads the region with wins. He's been great for Ridgeline. And then the sophomore over the hill in Garland, Deacon Rigby, only a sophomore. He's 5-0 in the season, John, and that was unexpected for Bear River. You knew you had the two Harrow boys, but that wasn't unexpected that you'd get Deacon Rigby to come in there and give you 5-0. So
yeah, always good job Bear River is, and they are going to switch pitchers.
Yep.
Yeah, Watterson's coming out. Looks like coming in for the Bobcats.
You think Watterson runs? He goes out to Gillette. This looks like who? Peyton McKay. Is that who's going to get the hill? Yeah, Peyton McKay is going to be on the hill for the Bobcats. Do you let Watterson catch his breath in the dugout, John, till the end of the inning, or do you move him out to center field right now? It looks like they're probably going to just let him have a drink, get his mind right in there. Ridgeline came out with 4 hits here and only 1 out still, so only 1/3 of the top of 1 gone, and 4 hits, 2 errors, and 5 runs for Ridgeline. So I think you do that. I think your assistant coaches and Coach Neal just give Watterson a little encouragement. Talk in the dugout and realize, hey, let's get rid of this one and we'll come back at it. And I was wrong. Here he goes. Here he's going to go into the outfield.
Well, he didn't need that much of a drink, right?
No, right. Yeah.
That's how good Gatorade is, Clint. It rejuvenated him really quickly as Watterson trots out to center field to get in the outfield. So not the start that Skyview wanted for the Bobcats against the Riverhawks in this final game of the 3-game series. McKay's warming up out there for the Bobcats, but again, 5-0 Ridgeline.
Hey, John, you want to shift gears for just a second?
Yeah.
You know, you and I, we love baseball, we love basketball, but we really love football. And we've got the summer here between basketball or between baseball and football. But teams are going to start practicing. They're going to start getting ready for football. Let's talk about this region up here, 4A North up here. What do you see in football? What do you like coming the fall?
Well, with the region, I think that you look at the first two things. I think Bear River and Mountain Crest, they'll have new head coaches.
New head coaches, yeah.
So that will be interesting to see how they do, because both programs have been at the top in the past, and so they needed to get back there. And so it might take them another year, but we'll see how that goes. But, I mean, Ridgeline lost a lot.
A lot
with the state champions. Their undefeated season last year, they lost a lot. But with Coach Cox out there, and I really think that because Skyview will be there with Coach Howell, but between those two schools, I mean, those two to me are still the teams to beat, because they haven't been knocked off for the last few years. It's been Skyview or Ridgeline. I mean, Green Canyon will be up there with Coach Ander
Green
as well.
Green Canyon's going to be good.
They will be good.
Yeah.
I think that Stevens is back at quarterback for them
that's
as
correct.
well. So, I mean, that's something that Coach Ander, I mean, Stevens was a great runner too for the Wolves. So I think those are the top three teams there. So.
I would agree, and I think I could probably see Green Canyon and Skyview over Ridgeline, but that's just what I think,
Well, yeah.
looking from the outside.
So bases loaded. So coming in McKay for the Bobcats pitching, he's kind of put in a pickle here.
To say the least, right?
Yeah, he's down 5-0 already. 1 out, and the first pitch was a ball. So McKay winds up, second pitch coming to Hollingsworth, and it's outside. It's ball 2.
McKay's had 4 appearances here in the season, 4.5 earned runs a game. When he does get out there. So Skyview's going to need to play some defense behind McKay. Again, tough spot to be in with the bases loaded, 1 out, and Jackson Hollingsworth up to bat. He's dangerous, John. One of the best leadoff men in this region.
Another pitch is outside. Hollingsworth had a single in to start things off. The scoreboard says ball 2, but I thought it was a 3-0 count.
There's been 3 pitches thrown. So
ball 3.
That's what I thought too, John.
Yeah, so a 3-0 count, 1 out, top of the first inning, bases loaded, 5-0 Ridgeline. Pitch is down low, and so McKay walks Hollingsworth, and a run will score for the Riverhawks.
Hollingsworth, John, hitting .308 on the season. He is, like I said, he's dangerous. 10 stolen bases, according to Max Preps. So he's again, he's got a guy in front of him, so you take away that speed. You don't have to worry about him. Boy, he gets on to lead off the game. He's tough. Marshall Hansen up to bat for the Riverhawks. Bases juiced. McKay going to throw that first pitch. Needs a strike here.
And it's outside for another ball. So he's thrown, let's see, 5 straight pitches, and they've all been balls. Hansen had a single there, his first time up to bat.
Hansen, again, it's interesting, this Ridgeline, this lineup, John. 2 left-handers to start that lineup. That's tough. You don't find a lot of left-handers, and you get 2 right in that 1 and 2 spot, right?
Yeah, and McKay finally gets his strike. Maybe that will settle him down, because he had 5 straight balls pitched, and then he finally gets a strike. So 1-1. Pitch is on the way, and it's outside for another ball. It'll be ball 2, strike 1. Still only 1 out here in the top of the first, and it's 6-0.
Peyton McKay living on that outside of these left-handers. He just needs to come back across the middle of the plate here and see if he can't get a few strikes here.
Ridgeline, 6 runs on 4 hits, and a rope up the middle. What a hit, and it goes out to center field. 1 run will score, and another comes in. So 2 runs score as the ball comes back into the infield, but it's not in time to get the runner out at third.
Good effort by the second baseman from Skyview, but Marshall Hansen with just an absolute rope into right center scores 2, 8-0 here in the top of the first. Only 1 out still. The Riverhawks with 5 hits and then 2 errors on the Bobcats haven't helped the situation for the Bobcats. So up to bat here for the Riverhawks is who do we have here? This is number 1, Trey Purser, and he is dangerous. John, what do we say? Second and 4A in home runs? Is that accurate?
Yep. Yeah. And in the last game he had 2 home runs. So first pitch from McKay to Purser, and it's a strike on the right outside corner.
Interesting pitch. That looked to me like a changeup, John. On the first pitch, maybe you've got Purser just looking straight fastball, just change that speed up a little bit and throw him off. So
McKay, 1 strike, no balls. Second pitch on the way, and Purser hits to the right towards the Ridgeline dugout. But luckily, it hits the fence. It was a high pitch. He swung a little late on that pitch.
Yeah.
So, no balls, 2 strikes here.
Way to get ahead for Peyton McKay. He needs a strikeout here, especially against this dangerous hitter in Purser.
There's the pitch. It's low and bounces off the plate. Ball 1, strike 2.
I like that location, John. You're throwing it in the dirt, but you're throwing it right down the middle in the dirt where your catcher doesn't have any trouble controlling that, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully you get Purser. You bait him into swinging at a bad pitch, but Purser wasn't falling for that. So see what McKay's got up his sleeve this pitch.
Pitch is on the way, and Purser pops it up back foul.
There's a free stick of gum for anybody that gets it.
Yeah, that knocked that one clear back. For a second there, my heart stopped, but...
Yeah, it was a little over me and John. John and I might have caught it here, but it went over to the softball field.
Yeah,
so.
Hopefully they're all right. So Purser, again, ball 1, strike 2. McKay with another pitch coming up.
Purser protecting now with those 2 strikes. He's going to look for that. Whatever the pitch.
And he ropes it up the middle, line drive, and it will score another couple of runs from second and third. He'll get a stand-up single, but 2 more RBIs. So 4 RBIs in the first inning for Purser on a single and a triple.
Wow, and that was in the exact spot that Marshall Hansen went right into that, right up just to the right of second base, kind of out into right center. Really stroked that ball well by Purser. He's a dangerous hitter.
Yes, he is, and now it's still 1 out in the top of the first. It's 10-0 for the Riverhawks. And Skyview, they just can't get out of this inning.
They can't. Sometimes that happens here. Davis Fulmer up. He'll be pitching for the Riverhawks. We said that what seems like a half an hour ago, and we still haven't seen him. Skyview just struggling to get out of this inning. Credit Ridgeline, John. They came in with a good approach at the plate. Every one of them's looking to hit the ball. Coach Jensen, he's got them out there, and hey, let's swing the bat, and they are.
Yeah, they are 10-0 on 6 hits, 2 errors on Skyview, strike 1, no ball, and then another swing and a miss by Fulmer. So McKay ahead of the count there, 2 strikes,
yep.
1 out.
McKay was ahead with Purser as well. Let's see if he can get Fulmer out here. The Bobcats desperately need this. Getting a great day for baseball, John. That wind, as long as it stays down, the temperature's perfect.
Yeah, it is. It's staying in the mid-60s. And a hit down to third base, going for the double play. They've got the lead out at second, but they can't turn it for the double play. So they get the lead runner for 2 outs.
Boy, they needed that one, though. That's one the Bobcats desperately needed. They got the lead runner. Bryce Larson over there at second touches the bag and looked to turn the double play, but it was just a little late. Tough feed from the third baseman. He was all the way back in that hole at third when he fielded that and just threw it a little bit low, and that happens, though. All right, and here we go.
Carter Gill's up to bat, 2 outs. He got walked last time.
Dangerous catcher and dangerous hitter, Carter Gill, great baseball player.
And he gets hit by the pitches. That one got away from McKay and hit Gill on the shoulder. So hit by pitch there, and
brings up Easton Dahlke, the big fella, up to bat here. Dahlke had what do you have, John, a single last time he was up, I do believe?
Yep, he had a single, the 2 RBIs on that single, too, for Dahlke. So, Old Gristmill, have you tried the fantastic breakfast sandwiches served at the South and Logan and Smithfield locations? You're going to love it. It's the Old Gristmill bringing you spring Sports, Region 11 Spring Sports here on 104.5 FM The Ranch, and also on our video stream of CashValleyDaily.com.
Those are delicious breakfast sandwiches, Bobcat and Riverhawk fans. If you haven't tried one, get down there to Old Grist Mill and check them out. First pitch to Dalkey here. They need a strike from McKay.
Yeah, with 2 outs, and he got it. He caught him swinging there right down the pipe.
You know, I think as Coach Neal, when you get out of this inning, John, you just have to you need to tell these kids, you just let's win the next inning, right? Let's put this 10 runs out of our mind. You're down 10-0. Let's put it out of our mind. Let's go win the next inning. And you just need to kind of compartmentalize and focus inning by inning to try to get back in this game.
Next pitch is on the way. It's popped up to right field. First baseman's back there and makes the catch as it goes into the outfield, and Skyview finally gets out of the inning here in the top of the first. So it's 10-0. Riverhawks lead the Bobcats. We're going to step aside here as we get ready to go to the bottom of the first inning with a 10-0 lead for the Riverhawks. We'll take a break and be back right after this.
Great bass and graphics. We made you look for quality screen printing, embroidery and design. What's important to you is important to us. We love what we do and it shows every time. Great bass and graphics. We made you look, made you look.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. Bottom of the first inning, as Skyview will have their first chance to try to dig themselves out of this big hole that they started with, because Ridgeline jumped on Cole Watterson. They gave up 6 hits, the Bobcats did, 10 runs in that top of the first inning for the Riverhawks, and they did their damage. This is the third game of the 3-game series. Ridgeline defeated the Bobcats in the first 2 games. John Newbold and Clint Payne with you, and Clint, starting for the Riverhawks on the mound is Davis Fulmer.
Yeah, senior Davis Fulmer. We announced his name quite a while ago, but Skyview again struggled to get out of that top of the first there. But Fulmer on the season, he's 1-0. So with some no decisions, John, he's got a 4.6 ERA. Fulmer's going to throw some strikes. The Bobcats need to string some hits together and try to manufacture some runs. Again, I said this off the air, John. If you're Coach Neal, you're down 10-0. At this point, you need to just take what you get, try to win the next inning. You take it an inning at a time, a pitch at a time, compartmentalize, and you know what? They did just that. First pitch from Fulmer, you hit Watterson, and you got a Bobcat on.
Yeah, Watterson, so He wanted to make up, I'm sure, for the pitching that it didn't go his way, and then he gets plunked on the first pitch.
Well, now you have some speed on the base path, John.
Oh, yes.
You can do some stuff here now with Watterson on first. Gill, a great catcher, but Watterson with elite speed. I could see him still in this count. And honestly, John, they threw an off-speed pitch. Davis Fulmer did first pitch. If you knew that's coming, you want to catch an off-speed and send Watterson on an off-speed count. So I'm sure that's what Coach Neal is looking for.
And that first pitch was a strike to Bryce Larson for the Bobcats.
Watterson, 11 stolen bases on the season, leads the Bobcats.
Off. He didn't go. Ball 1, strike 1. Pitch was high from Fulmer.
This is your second baseman, Bryce Larson, up to bat. So, again, this is something that the Bobcats need to do. They need to generate some runs here, down 10-0 in the bottom of the first here.
Larson's 1 of 5 in the series. Pitch on the way. It looked outside, but he caught the corner, so it's strike 2 called. Ball 1, strike 2 to Larson.
John, this blue's been fairly lenient on that outside corner to right-handers. I would want to live there, I think, if I was a pitcher and I can hit my spots. especially after seeing that, that he's given that outside corner up.
Watterson's going to run. Larson hits it up the middle. It's just slow roller to second. Throw to first is out, so Larson's out, but Watterson's going to get advanced to the second base.
Credit Ridgeline shortstop Jackson Hollingsworth. What a nice play. That's one of those tough balls to handle, John. It's kind of a tweener, right? Mm-hmm. It's not coming at you very hard. It's kind of just looping along, and Jackson Hollingsworth timed that perfectly, snatched that baby out of the air, and whipped it over to first to get that out. A lot of shortstops don't make that play, and you've got 2 runners on at that point.
So Watterson on second with 1 out, and Brighton Williams up to bat. Pitch by Fulmer is in there for a strike.
That was outside corner as well. I think Fulmer's figured something out. I said that blue was being lenient on that outside corner, and it looks like Fulmer's going to take advantage of that. So hopefully Williams sees that, and he crowds that plate a little bit, gets on the inside of the box here for the Bobcats.
0-1 pitch coming up from Fulmer. And it's hit right back up the middle to Hollingsworth. And he makes a strike to first base for the second out. Watterson advances to third. Watterson was hit by the pitch, the first pitch of this up to bat, and that's how he's on third. He's been advanced each time, but the Bobcats can't get extra hits. They haven't had one yet. They just can't get, this has been their problem. They get a man on base, whether it's walk or by a hit, then they can't advance them.
Credit Hollingsworth for a couple of really nice plays, too. Yeah, Hollingsworth's a heck of a shortstop,
Stetson Karen at the plate, and the ball bounces in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher to send it to the right side, because Watterson, with his speed, if that gets past, he would have jumped the gun, tried to get home.
I'm still almost shocked that Watterson didn't go and just test Davis Fulmer, see if he couldn't outrun him to the plate, because Gill had to go, between the dugout and home, and I'm surprised that Watterson didn't take off there.
Maybe it kind of caught Watterson off guard. Ball one's no strikes, and that one's outside and doesn't catch the corner. Right. That's one of the rare ones that had pitchers thrown outside that didn't catch it.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about Hollingsworth and his fielding out there. He's John. He has 37 putouts on the season from that shortstop position. So excellent shortstop out there.
And pitch right down the middle this time, and Stetson Karen just takes it. Ball 2, strike 1.
Karen needs to be looking for that pitch. He needs to look for anything he can drive and manufacture a run for the Bobcats here, especially with 2 outs. He's got just find a hole and get to first, Score Watterson.
Ball 2, strike 1, and Karen sends that one down the right side, but it's going to go foul.
Good thought by Karen, John. That's that outside pitch by Fulmer. Again, he just went with the pitch and was trying to push it down the right field line, and just a hair late on that. So.
10-0, 2-2 pitch coming up, 2 outs for the Riverhawks here in the bottom of the first.
Watterson with a good lead over there.
Fulmer gets him swinging. The pitch was in the dirt, and they throw him out at first as Stetson Karen chased that one out of the zone. And that's going to be the 3rd out, and Skyview leaves Watterson stranded at 3rd as we head into the top of the 2nd inning. Again, you're listening to Region 11 Spring Sports. It's Skyview and Ridgeline Baseball today here in Smithfield. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this.
Sack lunch, picnic lunch, business lunch. There's nothing better or more satisfying than the lunch special at Old Grist Mill. It's lunch the way Mother Nature intended. All natural bread, the perfect amount of meat, veggies to your liking. And then it only gets better with your choice of a fresh-baked cookie, chips, and drink. You know what we're talking about, that famous Old Grist Mill lunch special. Get your made-to-order special at the South Logan, and now Smithfield locations. Old Grist Mill, here for you.
Welcome back to Skyview. It's 10-0, top of the 2nd inning. John Newbold and Clint Payne with you here on 104.5 The Ranch. Also, our video stream on CashValleyDaily.com. You can watch the live stream, or you can go back and watch these replays on CashValleyDaily.com. Just go to the local prep section on the left side, and you can find those replays. And go back. You can go back and watch football, basketball, anything you want.
Skyview's booth doing a good job here between innings, giving John and I some good music, some Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and that's what Davis Fulmer was on that last pitch. He was fortunate; he threw a beautiful curveball, John, to get the Ridgeline Riverhawks out of the inning. So Skyview, let's see if they can in the top of the second can keep the Ridgeline Riverhawks off the board. I'd say if you can come out of here, John, with no runs after you get down 10-0, that is a very successful half inning, and I think that's what Coach Neal is telling this young Bobcats team. Hey, let's win this half an inning, right? Let's just win this half an inning. Again, as John said, Ridgeline up 10-0 after one. So
Miller's back up. He was out. He got out the first time up to bat in the first inning. Ball one, strike one from McKay, who came in for Watterson.
Caden Miller, the designated hitter here today. He isn't playing in the field here, John, at least not yet.
And it's a pitch in there, and it swung and got a piece of it, but it just goes to the Skyview dugout to the left side. So ball one, strike two.
I like that pitch there, John. That was a changeup, and he was and Caden Miller was way out in front of that. That's why you throw that pitch, and he caught enough of it to turn it over there right against the Skyview dugout.
Pitch is there, and a swing and a miss, and that's the first strikeout for the Bobcats today. McKay gets Miller on the strikeout.
Beautiful off-speed pitch by McKay. That thing didn't break a ton, but it definitely broke enough to fool him. So great pitch by McKay. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Bobcats there, John. Get that first batter, first out here in the top of the second.
Yep. So one out. It's the top of the second inning, 10-0 Ridgeline. McKay, the pitcher for the Bobcats.
Max Bear up for the Riverhawks. Bear, I believe the first time up, John, he singled, did he not?
Yes, he had an RBI single. Bear did the first time up to bat in the first inning, and that first pitch there by McKay is a strike.
Bear, the left fielder for the Ridgeline Riverhawks. 0-1 count.
Second pitch is stroked out to center field, making a run for it, and they're going to get the out.
Great play by Cole Watterson. He had to go almost to right field, showing why he's one of the better center fielders, John, that you'll see in this region and probably in 4A, especially defensively. He gets such a great jump on the ball.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't get the best jump, his speed will allow him to get there, and that was one of those hits where I think that was the case, that his speed got him there, because it looked like it might drop in there, but with the speed, because really the wind died down too,
it looked like it was going to drop behind second base, and he was just able to run that down. But if you haven't seen him play, Bobcat fans, you need to turn on to our stream here, listen to John and I call the game, or just come out to the park and watch Cole Watterson. He is worth the price of admission in center field. He's one of those rare center fielders that usually gets a good jump on every ball, but as John said, can make it up with his athleticism.
Well, Peyton Haslam sends one back behind us.
There's a souvenir.
Yep. So 2 strikes. The first pitch was a strike. So Peyton Haslam walked his first time up to bat. He's down 0-2 here in the top of the second, and there's 2 outs. So
Peyton McKay with a much better approach in this inning, John. I like what he's doing out here.
And, it was outside. Give Haslam credit. He just got the barrel of the bat barely on that ball as it's fouled back to stay alive in the count.
Beautiful bender by McKay. He's been mixing that off-speed pitch up, John, a lot, and I really like what he's doing. And this is truly a nice job of pitching here in the second inning by McKay, especially after that first inning.
2 outs, 2 strikes, and pitches outside by McKay. The scoreboard says 2-2. I thought it was 1-2, but we'll go with what they say, 2-2. With 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, 10-0 Ridgeline here on 104.5 The Ranch.
All right, McKay looking for another strikeout here and get the Bobcats out of the top of the second.
And a hit right back to McKay, and he just gloves it, trots over to first, and just tosses it over to the first baseman and gets the out. So 1-2-3, a better second inning for the Bobcats.
Oh, that's just what the Bobcats needed, John. That was huge. Coach Neal telling his catcher and talked to his pitcher, gave him high five on the way out, and that was needed. The Bobcats definitely needed that.
Yeah, that was a good contact by Haslam, but it just bounced right back to McKay, and he just gloved it right there and showed the leather and got it to first for the out, and it's going to go to the bottom of the second inning with a 10-run lead for the Riverhawks. We'll keep it here this time. McDonald's, visit your local McDonald's for pickup and drive-through, and I actually went there last night and got myself a quarter-pounder meal after the girls lacrosse match that AJ Knight and myself called. Skyview and Mountain Crest went to overtime.
Oh, did it really?
Golden goal by Mountain Crest to win 10-9. It was a great matchup here in Smithfield. And then, of course, our Region 11 Spring Sports continues later tonight with soccer, boys soccer. And in North Logan, it's AJ Knight and John Russell on the call as it's Green Canyon and Mountain Crest. They had a 1-0 Green Canyon win, so the rematch in North Logan should be a great matchup.
Great matchup.
Yep, so that's later tonight. That game scheduled for a 7 o'clock kickoff, so pregame around 6:50 here on 104.5 FM, The Ranch.
Hey, talking about lacrosse, John, what a growing sport here in Northern Utah. And if you haven't watched it, girls and boys games are completely different.
For sure.
But it is so much fun. It's so fast-paced, and the boys game is real aggressive. A lot of hitting that goes on, and it's fun. You should check it out if you haven't, Bobcat and Riverhawk fans. It really is it's a fun game to watch. So, all right, Davis Fulmer back on the hill for the Riverhawks to start the bottom of the second. Up to bat for the Skyview Bobcats is Seth Chambers, I do believe.
Yep, Seth Chambers. He's up to bat. He's in the series. He is 1 of 3 with a double and an RBI.
Oh, Chambers took two straight pitches dead red down the center and watched him. Now he's got to protect here. Those were both great pitches by Fulmer. I mean, there was nothing fancy. He's just I'm going to throw fastballs right down the gut. So Chambers has to be ready for probably an off-speed pitch here or something in the dirt.
0-2 pitch coming. Nope. And it's right down the pipe again, and there's the first K for I just lost Fulmer, yeah.
For Davis Fulmer. 3 straight fastballs to Chambers, and he looked at the first 2, swung at the third one, and, nice piece of pitching there by Davis Fulmer. I was surprised he didn't waste one, but maybe where he thought he didn't swing at those 2 first fastballs, he'll throw another one at him, you know?
So Tucker Murdoch coming up to the plate, 3 of 4 in the series with a triple, and that one gets away from Fulmer as it bounces clear in the dirt and over the catcher, so ball 1, no strikes to Murdoch.
Bobcats need a hit here, trail 10-0 to the Riverhawks here in Smithfield.
Bottom of the second inning, Murdoch swings, gets a piece of it, and it goes to the Skyview dugout, so 1-1 is the count.
Gill throws that ball back to Fulmer and throws it in the dirt. As your catcher, you hate that. That's your worst fear. Luckily, no one was on throwing a bad ball back to your pitcher here.
That's what I would end up doing. Mine would hit it'd be one of those train wrecks that you see in a first pitch. Oh, what a hit. But it goes right back to Fulmer, to the pitcher, and he just underhands it to the first baseman for the out.
And Fulmer having a little fun with Murdoch as they run down the first baseline. I would assume those two know each other or something. Fulmer stuck his tongue out at Murdoch as he flipped the ball over there. And I think it was all in fun. Murdoch didn't seem upset about it. I would think as close as these kids in this valley are, John, a lot of these guys play comp baseball and stuff growing up together, and then they play against each other.
Well, and it's just like basketball, too. Like they just know the kids know each other. They play so much club ball. So, yeah, they know each other, and they've known each other for a while. And besides, this is the third game of the series too. So
great pitch there by Fulmer. Outside corner, John, same spot there on the first pitch.
Yeah, Cameron Carlin, he went down and got that one, but it goes right back. Great leather shown that time by Fulmer again as the Bobcats got a couple of hits the last 2 batters, but they're just right back up the pipe to the pitcher, Fulmer, and he's just tossed them out.
3 up, 3 down.
Up, 3 down. So that second inning was a quick one. 3 up, 3 down for both teams. And we're going to the top of the third inning. That's coming up next as Ridgeline leads the Bobcats 10-0 with the top of the third inning. And Ridgeline coming up next will be Jackson Hollingsworth right after this 30-second break here on The Ranch.
When it's important to make an impression, call on the Logo Shop. They specialize in designing and customizing your logo onto t-shirts, golf shirts, jackets, and hats. Your logo will look great on name brand apparel from Nike, Travis Mathew, OGIO, North Face, Under Armour, and Carhartt. The Logo Shop can put your logo on literally thousands of items: pens, water bottles, mugs, travel accessories, outdoor gear like Yeti coolers. Call on the Logo Shop and check out the possibilities.
The Logo Shop, logo stuff, the Logo Shop.
Top of the third inning here on the ranch. It's 10-0 Ridgeline. If I got my scorecard right, which I probably don't, I think Jackson Hollingsworth will lead this third inning. But it was a great outing there in the second inning for McKay pitching.
Oh yeah,
for the Bobcats.
He was great, John. I mean, really, he hit his spots. He kept the Ridgeline Riverhawk batters off balance. You couldn't ask for more than a bottom or top of the second inning, especially as bad as the first inning went. Right, that's a win. If you're Coach Neal, that's something you can build on right there for this young Bobcat team.
Well, Hollingsworth, he's had a single in the first inning, his first up to bat, and second up to bat in the first inning, he got a walk. So a single and a walk. And now he's at the plate again. McKay, oh wow, he ropes it down the first baseline. Oh, it was foul. I thought it was fair.
Me too. From here it looked fair.
It looked fair from here.
That official on the first baseline had a better view than John and I did. Boy, if that thing's fair, John, that's a triple.
Well, easily with his speed, that's a triple for sure. As Hollingsworth just ripped that down the first baseline.
Great swing by Jackson Hollingsworth for the Ridgeline Riverhawks. Wow. Just missed that triple by a matter of inches, John.
Yep. So strike one, no ball. McKay's second pitch is high. It's going to be ball one, strike one now to Hollingsworth.
I like the off speed there. He figured Hollingsworth, he saw the fastball and he crushed it. So let's come back with something off speed and try to keep him off balance here. That worked in the second inning for McKay.
Yeah, top of the third here, 10-0 Ridgeline. Pitch is outside, and it will be another ball. Ball two, strike one.
Hey, John, you mentioned McDonald's as one of our sponsors here. Have you ever had that there's an off-menu sandwich. I don't know if they have it over here, but if you get to Tremont, order the McAwesome.
I haven't
It's off-menu. We'll tell you what it is right after this pitch, John.
All right. That's outside as well.
All right, John, McDonald's, the McAwesome over in Tremont. It is a spicy McChicken on top of a McDouble.
See, I need that. That sounds delicious.
Right. Isn't that amazing?
It is. I'm assuming you've tried it a few times.
I have. There's the pitch, and that was outside, and he walks Jackson Hollingsworth. I actually watched, you remember Easton Payne that played nose guard for Bear River a few years ago. Now he's at Weber State.
Yeah.
I watched him eat 4 of them at one lunch. Yeah, that was impressive.
That's a impressive lunch there.
Yeah, no question. All right, Hollingsworth on first. Tough situation here for McKay, John. No outs, and you got Ridgeline Speed on first. You got these two left-handers that are 1 and 2 for Ridgeline.
So McKay, after the walk to Hollingsworth, he throws to first to try to catch him off, but Hollingsworth back to first base. He's safe.
You just want to keep Hollingsworth close to first. You don't want him to get a good jump and steal second with Marshall Hansen at the plate. Marshall Hansen having a good day at the dish.
Yeah, a single, a double, and 2 RBIs. Outside pitch. It was high and outside, so ball one.
Hollingsworth getting a good jump. I would assume Coach Jensen's looking for an off-speed count to send Hollingsworth. That's what you want, because it's with Hollingsworth's speed, you get that you get that off-speed and catch him an off-speed. You get a good jump. There it is.
And he's going to go, and the catcher he looked up and saw Hollingsworth going, and he didn't watch it go into his mitt, and it bounced off the top of his mitt, and pitch got away from him. So Hollingsworth will. I assume he gets the stolen base. It's not like an error, right?
No, I think you give Hollingsworth the stolen base on that. You could give Williams a pass ball, but I don't think so. I think you give Hollingsworth the stolen base. He was clearly going to make that. He caught him on an off-speed pitch, and it's tough to get a runner to stop. Getting second on you with any speed if you get him on an off-speed pitch there. So. All right, Marshall Hansen, he's got a runner in scoring position for the Riverhawks here. No outs, 2-1 count to Marshall Hansen. Riverhawks lead the Bobcats 10-0, John, in the top of the 3.
Yeah, and that last pitch was a strike by McKay. So Hansen probably looking for that. That pitch was right down the middle. There's the pitch. It's down the middle again. It's hit right back up to Watterson in center field. He's got a good arm. He throws it. It's cut off by the first baseman, and Hollingsworth dives back to third.
Nice play by Murdoch. He looked at it. He looked at Hollingsworth and realized Hollingsworth wasn't going to score if he lets it go through. Right? He could let that go through, and you get Hollingsworth at the plate because that was a dime by Watterson. So instead, he cuts it off, hoping that Marshall Hansen will try to take second on him, and then you can get Marshall Hansen caught over there.
Well, and remember in the first inning when Watterson was pitching, you mentioned there was a different center fielder out there, and we knew that Watterson has a good arm, and he roped that one. was on the rope.
That was crazy. Yeah. dangerous spot for Skyview here. Trey Purser up with runners on the corners and no outs for McKay.
Yeah, Purser's had a single, a triple, and 2 RBIs in the first inning, and he's been on fire in this series. That one's high, and give Purser a lot of credit. He didn't even flinch. That one was high and inside.
Yeah, he just stood there. I almost, at this point, if you're Coach Neal, with runners on the corners, you can probably afford to walk Purser. You know what I mean? There's an open base out there, John. I wouldn't give Purser anything that he could just destroy right here. I'd try to keep away or keep on the hands, something he can't really crush.
Well, he pops that one to the shortstop.
Good pitch.
And he'll get an out.
A good pitch. It was a inside. It looked like a changeup on the hands, John, and it was one of those that Purser couldn't lay off of. And but you can't do anything with that pitch either,
Yeah.
So
the runners will stay at the corners. 1 out here in the top of the third. 10-0 for the Riverhawks on 7 hits.
All right, Bobcat fans. Davis Fulmer at the plate for Ridgeline. Now what you do is you bring those, you probably pinch the middle just a hair with your 2 infielders and try to get that double play, John. This is a great time to get a double play and get you out of the inning with no harm done.
So McKay winds up. The pitch is on the way, and it's popped back and out of play. It'll be strike 1. As he popped that back and out of play, Davis Fulmer did. He had a single, and he was walked in the first inning.
Davis Fulmer, a good baseball player, John. He's a smart player. He's having a good day on the mound. He's good at the dish. He's just a good baseball player, for the Riverhawks.
So pitch is on the way, and he tips it back, and off the catcher's ankle. So he's kind of walking it off, but no ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the third.
Boy, that caught the catcher right on the side of the foot. The only place you don't have any protection, John. You could see that stung a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of walked it off a little bit.
McKay doing a pretty good job there. He had a great second inning. He came in relief for the first inning, and when Watterson went out to center, and had a great second inning. And he's okay right now. He hasn't given up a run here in the third, but he's in a little bit of trouble with runners on the corner and only 1 out. Pitching to Davis Fulmer.
And it's a low pitch, but he caught him swinging, and his second K of the day as Fulmer strikes out in the third to give the Bobcats their second out there, but 2 strikeouts for McKay.
Ball 1, just 1 hopped in the dirt on the catcher, but first was occupied, so there was no reason to do anything there. Great pitch by McKay. Really great pitch here.
So Gill up to bat. He was hit by a pitch and walked in the first.
2 outs, you've got runners on first and third. You can deepen that. Your corners up if you want, John, and just play for the force second or first. There's no reason to do anything else. Just play your normal depth and try to get the force at first or second. So.
Yeah, and like you said, there's that outside corner, that pitch, and it's called strike again.
Boy, Blue's been giving it to him all day long, and you know what? He's consistent.
Yep, he has been.
I'm fine with that. Those high ones, he's a little not quite as consistent.
Knuckler. It's hit into the gap there into the right field, and a run will score. That's Hollingsworth, so an RBI single for Gill.
Gill just went with the pitch and kind of pushed it out there. It's just kind of one of those seeing eye singles, if you will. It finds a little bit of space, John, and works its way into right field. So a little speed up here for Gill. Cam Blotter going to come in as the pinch runner for Gill. Let your catcher not risk your catcher running. So Blotter into pinch run here for the Riverhawks.
11-0, top of the third. The Ridgeline Riverhawks lead with 8 hits.
So, is this Easton Dalkey?
I believe it is, and Dalkey hits it down the third baseline, foul.
Boy, he turned on that
first pitch.
He turned on that off speed. He was way out in front of that thing and pulled it right down the third base line. Good swing by Dalkey, just a little ahead of that, John.
So, second pitch of the at bat coming, no ball, 1 strike.
Hey, speaking of Skyview, since we're here, we're broadcasting from Skyview, and you do their games, will let you call that and see if Watterson can get to that.
Oh, he dives. He got there diving. It goes past him, though. 2 runs will score as Dalkey gets a single as he roped it out there into in between left and center, and Watterson made a great diving effort, but it got past him.
Boy, Dalkey roped that thing into left center, and that was a great effort by Cole Watterson. I mean, it was inches of him coming down with the Sports Center play, and instead it scores two Riverhawks, and it's a 2 RBI single for Easton Dalkey. Two outs and 12-0 Riverhawk lead here, John, in the top of the third over the Bobcats.
Well, it's actually 13, I think.
I think they've missed one up there. I think you're right. Yeah, that's correct.
So 13-0, top of the third now for the Riverhawks on 9 hits. And the first pitch is a strike to Miller.
Hey, John, speaking of Skyview, did I hear that Mason Falslove, is he home off a mission?
Yep, he got home I'm trying to think, on Tuesday he was home.
And he has
from Brazil, yep, and another pitch, and it's hit into left center, that gap again, and it goes past the left fielder, so Miller is going to get it. Dalkey rounding third. They wave him home as it's going to be an RBI double for Miller.
And you probably have to go E7 on that, John. You have to give an error to that left fielder. That probably should have kept Caden Miller to a single and Dalkey to third, but it hit Miller, and it looked like it took a funny hop and hit him in the shoe and then bounced into the air. It was kind of a weird hop. Maybe just come off the grass funny or hit a sprinkler head or something out there, John.
Yeah, it did come up off the grass as Coach Neal goes out to talk to the umpire, and now he's going to go to the plate.
Third appearance at the mound for Coach Neal. He's just trying to find something that'll stick here, and you can't blame him. He's doing the best he can to try to, just find something that's going to work for him here. It looks like he's telling McKay, the official warned him about a balk, so you see that Coach Neal out there is telling McKay that he's got to pause just a little longer, working on a few nuances of pitching. Great coaching by Coach Neal, by the way, here.
Yeah. So back to Mason Falslove for the Bobcats. Yeah, he returned from his mission from Brazil on Tuesday, and he's back. And I already saw a picture on Instagram up there in the Estes Center. He was with Brenchley and also Ryland Jones. And the three of them, and Mason, of course, he switched his commitment from Utah to Utah State. So he'll be playing here this fall or winter when they get things rolling up there on the hill. So we'll see if how Mason fits into Coach Odom's plan for him, as this one's fouled straight back into the fence on that first pitch, strike one.
You and I are certainly happy about that as Aggie fans, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I know a lot of people in the Valley were upset that he chose Utah first, but hey, he had a change of heart, and it'll be great to see him flourish up at Utah State. We know what kind of athlete Mason is and the kind of person he is as well. So second pitch of this at bat,
curveball.
Yeah,
gets him swinging.
McKay got Bear swinging, so 0-2 pitch coming up.
Beautiful pitch by McKay. Coach, again, I liked what Coach Neal did there. He went out to the mound. He just talked to McKay and just made a few little adjustments, just a little bit on the on timing off the mound, and then talking about a few things to do with those pitches. That was a nice pitch too.
Well, see, the catcher, he thought that he'd been getting that call all day, that outside
he was on his way out,
he was already gone. He thought that they K'd him.
That was the first time we've seen a little inconsistency with the blue on that outside corner.
Top of the third inning, 14-0 is the score on 10 hits. 2 outs, man on second for Ridgeline, and it's roped into right field. Is it going to stay fair? Skyview's making a run.
Got it.
And he got it. I think it would have been foul anyways, but he gets the third out on the pop fly. So going to the bottom of the third inning, it's going to be 14-0. Ridgeline all over the Bobcats in this matchup.
Beautiful play by Cade Sunderland out there and right. He had to go a long way, John, and he got there. He got a nice jump on it, and the hat blew off. His hair was flowing in the wind, and he made that catch up, probably, like you said, in foul territory.
Well, and like we're saying, too, not only did he have to run far, but that ball kept drifting to the right, to the right, and it kept going foul.
It was tailing on him.
It was tailing, and he had to make that run, and he was able to get there. So for Ridgeline coming out of it, again, a few more runs there in the third. Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
I think they got 3 runs, John,
3 runs
on 2 hits, I do believe.
Yep.
So 3 runs on 2 hits for the Riverhawks. They lead 13-0 in the bottom of the third. Again, not a bad game if you take away that top of that first. That was a 40-minute half inning, John, that top of the first for Skyview.
Yeah, and they just kept batting. They batted through the lineup. Ridgeline did. But, yeah, I think I'm still going to say the scoreboard's wrong. They missed the 2 runs that came in, and they only marked 1. So I think it's 14-0.
I think you're right. That was 4 runs on 3 hits or 2 hits. Yeah, I think you're right, John. There was that 1 run that they missed. So
anyway, for the Ridgeline Riverhawks, they
They may as well keep Davis Fulmer out there. They may as well keep him rolling. Fulmer having a great day on the hill. He
hasn't given up a hit.
Nothing. Yeah, he's got a no-hitter working here in the bottom of 3. Now Skyview's hit the ball. They've put the bat on the ball, but it's just been right at people. And you know what? He's fielded his position nicely. Davis Fulmer with a couple of comebackers, showed his athleticism. Again, just kind of one of those blue-collar lunch pail type baseball players. He just works hard and gives you everything he's got. I like Davis Fulmer's game here.
Yeah, his worst pitch was the first one as it hit Cole Watterson, and then after that he struck out one in the second.
He's settled in nicely.
So first pitch there, it's hit, and it takes a great hop over the first baseman, and he's on base. That's Cade Sutherland.
Nice hit by Sunderland, and it did it. Just same thing that happened to Skyview out there in left field. It hit something, just hit a piece of grass, and it went bouncing right over the top of Dalkey's head. He didn't even have time to respond there. So that's what Skyview needed. That's what the doctor ordered. So up to bat for the Bobcats is number 4, Tyker Neal. Ryan has to be Ryan's younger son, right, John?
Yep.
So. All right, Sunderland on first, and Tyker Neal up to bat. So Bobcats in business with no outs here.
Yeah, their first hit of the game by Sutherland. So the pitch is on the way. It's outside and low, so ball 1. Tyker Neal 1 from 4 in the series in the first 2 games against the Riverhawks. Ball 1, no strikes here in the bottom of the 3rd. Skyview trails 14-0.
Sunderland has some speed over there at first, John. You might consider, again, if you can catch an off-speed count and guess right, play the numbers here, it might be worth sending Sunderland to second. I know Gill's got a great arm, but you need to score some runs. You need to manufacture, and this is how you manufacture it, just by playing some small ball.
They throw back to first, and Sutherland is back, and he's safe. Ball 1, strike 1. But here's the situation for Skyview again. They had Cole Watterson on base in the first inning, and they couldn't knock him home. Right. And that's been their problem in the series. They've had players on base, but they leave them on base. And so an opportunity here for Neal to advance the runner from first base or to position and get him in running scoring position here.
It wouldn't be a bad thing to see Neal lay one down and just advance him. You got to get him to second, get him in scoring position, and again, if you can catch the right count here and get Sunderland to speed up a little bit, you might steal second. And then you're really in business here to try to put some runs on the board, and that's what Skyview needs desperately.
Well, Sunderland goes and it's a strike, and he's safe. It was a good throw by Gill, but what a jump by Sutherland. I mean, he was gone before the pitch had left the pitcher's hand.
There is no question about that. And you can put that stolen base directly on your pitcher, because Davis Fulmer had a little bit of a high leg kick there, John, and he caught him the minute that leg went up. Davis Fulmer just with a little bit too high of a leg kick. You need to not bring that knee up so high and just work towards home, so that runner can't get that easy steal on you.
Well, there you called time. Neal called time, but ball 1, strike 2. Sunderland got their only hit for Skyview, and then he steals the base to second. So Neal, ball 1, strike 2, steps up, waiting for the pitch. It's low and outside for another ball.
No, great play by Gill. Carter Gill knocking that errant curveball down. Gill had to come 3 feet outside the base there, John, to wear that off his chest. Really nicely done by a veteran catcher there. When you see a good catcher, John, it changes the game for teams. You know?
It really does.
Yeah, they are. They don't get enough appreciation, kind of like an offensive lineman, if you will. You know.
Pitch is in there. It's fouled back. Catcher couldn't hold on, so it'll be 2-2 still. Stays alive. Good job by Neal to stay alive and get a piece of that ball.
Yeah, pretty good at bat here by Neal. It's got a runner in scoring position. John Sunderland is having himself a pretty good game. He's done some nice things over in right field we just talked about. Got your hit, stole second for the Bobcats. So far, he's the player of the game for the Bobcats.
Pitch is on the way.
Ooh. Oh, nasty curveball. Yeah. Wow.
Neal didn't even flinch.
No, that was greasy there by Davis Fulmer. That thing came at Neal's, looked like it might be inside or even hit Neal, and that thing just bent as it got close to home. That was the best curveball I've seen in this game by far, John.
Yeah, Fulmer gets his second strikeout of the day. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. 13-0 Ridgeline here on 104.5 FM The Ranch.
Watterson up to bat here. This is a good opportunity for the Bobcats to put some runs on the board. There's that pitch, outside corner. Again, he's been consistent all day. Fulmer gets ahead on the first pitch, goes up 0-1 on Watterson. All right, let's see what he throws here. I probably would give Watterson another fastball right on that outside corner, see what he can do with it.
Yeah, he was hit by a pitch in the first inning. This is his second at bat. Pitch is on the way inside. It'll be ball one, strike one.
Good take by Watterson. Watterson, a patient hitter here. He's got a runner in scoring position. All right, Bobcat fans, great day to be here at the ballpark. You still have time to come down. Just put John and I on your stream, on your phone. Come get a hot dog. Come see us. Wave as you go by. It's a great day to be at the ballpark, John.
Pitch is on the way, and that outside corner is called for a strike. Ball one, strike two to Watterson.
Coach Jensen, he knows that corner. He's getting it, and he's going to tell Fulmer to live there. Justin, he's got Justin and Jared Jensen in there. Justin, the head coach, and they're going to pound that outside corner. And Fulmer's done just that, John.
So Fulmer ahead in the count here. Pitch is on the way. It's low. He got Watterson chasing, but the ball goes past the catcher. Watterson's going to get the first, and Sutherland goes to third on that pitch.
So, John, do you think you credit that as a pass ball or a wild pitch? It was in the dirt. It was a ball breaking away. Watterson just knew he had to take a hack at it. Gets past Gill, and Watterson gets to first on the. I would arguably probably say that's a wild pitch. It was it was far enough outside, that you probably say that's a wild pitch. So, runners on the corner. Skyview in business, John, with one out here.
Yeah, one out, 2 men on base. Larson up to bat. Was out in the first at bat.
Larson could, or Skyview could use some runs here if Larson could just get into one and drive one. All Larson needs to do, John, put one in the air. You got Sunderland is fast enough that Sunderland can score on anything put in the air in the outfield.
Yeah, and the wind has died down a bit, so it's not going to hang up there, though. So you got to get under it and get it out into the outfield.
You got to get it into the outfield, and then let Sunderland tag up here. But Skyview needs a run. They can't leave this runners on the corner with one out, down 13-0. You need to manufacture something here.
Pitch is on the way. Watterson stilling, and he's in there for the still. So he adds to his stolen base total.
Boy, great throw by Gill, though. Holy smokes. Gill just came up firing, and Cade Smith, the second baseman, cut that thing off. And but still a great throw by Gill. Smith really worried about Sunderland scoring there. You can see Gill, that arm that he's got.
So ball two, no strikes. One out here in the bottom of the third for Skyview. Man on second and third. Pitch is on the way. It's jammed him, and he just pops it up to the second baseman, and he'll be out, as it just jammed him on that pitch.
Yeah, easy play for Cade Smith over there at second. Up to bat for the Skyview Bobcats. That is number 6.
Brighton
Williams.
Yeah, he got an out in the first inning as well. So, again, Skyview's problems, leaving men on base. They have 2 on the base, second and third. Pitch is on the way, high and inside for ball one.
They really need Williams to get into one here. Williams with, according to Max Press, hitting .262 on the season with 5 RBIs. This would be a timely hit here if Williams could do something with this here.
Second pitch on the way by Fulmer is high. So ball two, no strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Ridgeline leading Skyview 13-0, but Skyview's got 2 men on base, second and third.
Good start by Williams.
And he swings and misses that pitch right down the middle for the strike.
I like that good hard approach, though, at the plate, John. He was swinging to make contact there. That was swinging with a purpose. He wanted to hit that ball and hit it a long way. So, like the approach by Williams, just needs to keep his eye on it just a little longer and see if he can't drive one somewhere.
2-1 pitch on the way. It's high, and it goes past the catcher's mitt. And Sutherland slides in. Now Watterson's going to run in as well. He slides.
He's there. Wow, what a play by Sunderland, and then followed up by Watterson. Nice play. Carter Gill came all the way back to grab that knee at the fence, that pitch that got to the fence, and tried to get Sunderland out, and threw it past Davis Fulmer, and then it bounced kind of off the mound and almost all the way out to second, and Watterson recognized it, and with that head-first slide gets in there. So Bobcats get 2 on the errant pitch there, John. Nice base running by Sunderland and Watterson.
Yeah, 14-2 is now the score. It's a ball 3, strike 1, 2 outs here for Williams. At the plate, he swings got part of it, but right back into the catcher's mitt. So full count coming up with 2 outs.
Boy, John, that's taking what the defense gives you out there. That's a great offensive baseball by Skyview, just taking what they give you there.
And fouls this one back. It's going to go clear back there, and it'll be keeps Bright and Williams alive with that foul back.
You could hear it rattle off the softball bleachers back there. Good thing there's not a softball game going.
So 3-2 pitch, and it's hit kind of off the end of the bat, just kind of died there. And so Williams tries to run it out, but again, they get the out there, and so Williams goes 0 for 2, but Skyview with a couple of runs in that inning kind of cut into that lead. It's 14-2 at the bottom of the third, heading to the top of the fourth. We're going to step aside for a 1-minute break here on 104.5 FM and also watching online the live stream on CashValleyDaily.com. Ridgeline leads 14-2, headed to the top of the fourth.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
What's important to you is important to us. We love what we do and it shows every time. Great base and graphics. We made you look, made you look.
Welcome back to Skyview High School for the Region 11 Spring Sports game here on 104.5 FM The Ranch, and also streaming on CashValleyDaily.com. Your video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. But it's 14-2. I know the scoreboard here in the field says 13-2, but I really feel like they missed something. So 14-2 is what we have. You can see if you're watching on CashValleyDaily.com. We've got the score there. I forgot to change the inning. It's actually the top of the fourth inning, but 14-2, Ridgeline leading. So McKay still pitching for the Bobcats, and up to bat, number 24 for Ridgeline.
Max Major coming into bat here. So we got a little substitution. Major, who's he coming in for there, John? Let's see. Where did we lay off last time? He's coming for Peyton Haslam. So Major in for Haslam is that's going to work there, I do believe.
Yep. Right. And Major's one for one in this series, so not a lot of at-bats, obviously, but he made the best of it when he was there.
Yep. I like that Coach Neal going back with McKay. After that, getting out of that tough jam that they put him in the first, he's pitched pretty darn good, John. I mean, really, he has. He's thrown well. He's doing just enough to keep these, giving up a couple hits, but he's doing just enough to keep these Ridgeline hitters off balance. Again, he was in a hole when he came in. It was
bases loaded. He struck out too since he's been in.
Right. He's done a good job. What do we know what age McKay is? Because he's
yeah. I just got to find my roster here.
He's a solid player. I like
McKay is. Let's see.
Inside pitch. Oh, it's the
it's blue.
Right, and it somehow missed his chest guard. He kind of turned, John. He saw it coming. That's just human nature. You just turn a little bit, so it does it. You'd rather wear it in the side, and that's what he did. But as a blue, you got to stay in there and not turn and let it bounce off that chest protector, right, instead of getting it in the side.
Well, Peyton McKay, he's a class of 2023, so he's a junior, right?
Yeah, He's been pretty solid. I like what he's done out here on the mound today, especially after that rough start. So, Again, Max Major up for the Riverhawks. Ridgeline leads 14-2 here, and we're in the top of the fourth. John, appreciate you having me out here to call this game today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day for the most part for baseball.
Yeah, I'm glad that it worked out. Nick Zollinger was going to join us, but he couldn't make it. And the game, like I said, like when it was scheduled for Friday, and so when it moved to Thursday, his schedule wouldn't allow him to. We missed Nick, but we're glad that you were able to. Dave Simmons couldn't in his schedule, so I'm glad that you were able to get here and worked out for us. So.
Yeah, it's always fun to call a baseball game. It's always fun to catch up with you, John. John and I go back a little way, so it's nice to always catch up, especially at games. Yeah,
and there's the strikeout. It was ball 2, strike 2, and McKay gets a high ball in there, and Major went swinging.
That was he went fishing. He got Major to swing at a ball at least chin high, John. That's one, if you're Major, you wish you had back, and it was off speed that just hung up there and didn't move much, and Major went fishing, so that's unfortunate. So
third strikeout of the day for McKay.
Cade Smith up to bat, second baseman for the Riverhawks here. Cade Smith coming in, I believe. Cade Smith is. We're going to see
Hollinsworth. Is that who?
Looks that way. It looks like Ridgeline's going to unload the bench here. And I mean, Smith played second last inning. McKay with the first pitch strike. 0-1 count to Cade Smith. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of guys that we haven't seen yet, John, here come in for Ridgeline. Ball one by McKay. 1-1 count to Cade Smith. Again, Ridgeline leads 14-2. See what McKay can do, see if he can get another out here, one out. I like that Coach Neal's sticking with him, just letting him learn from this.
And that's low for ball 2.
Yeah, Coach Neal's showing some faith. This is a good character-building game for a guy like this. I don't know how much McKay pitched last year, and he's got some outings this year. But this really, you get put in a tough situation in the first, you work your way out of it, and then you just learn from that, John, and you kind of grind through the next couple innings, and that's what he's done. This is how you become a good baseball player, a good pitcher in particular.
Yeah, a young team for Coach Neal and the Bobcats. Pitches, looked inside, but they call it a strike. Yeah. So ball 2, strike 2.
It did. It looked enough that Cade Smith turned on that one, right? So he thought he might get hit and turned on it, and apparently it painted the inside corner there. Good pitch by McKay. We've got some guys playing football here behind us, John.
Hit to the shortstop. And it just lifted the glove, and so it will be a single.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. E6 for the Bobcats, and it gets Cade Smith down to first for the Riverhawks. You're gonna want that back if you're Seth Chambers. That's one that I think he had plenty of time, John, but he instead of squaring up on that ball, he kind of tried to olay it off to the side, and unfortunately, that's what you get when you just pulled his head up a little bit and was out of position. Bridger Hammond in now for the Riverhawks. And runner on first, Smith down there, Hammond up to bat. Hammond with a big cut, John. He was looking to send that ball to Trenton, or at least to Wellsville somewhere. I guess Trenton would be straight right field. So
yeah, if he hit it to Wellsville, then man, he crushed that.
He was swinging out of his shoes on that. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did.
Great swing by Hammond, but.
Second pitch on the way, that outside corner, strike 2.
Been so consistent, that official has.
Yep. So top of the fourth, 14-2 is the score. Ridgeline leading, and it's no balls, two strikes, 1 out here in the top of the fourth for the Bobcats.
Bridger Hammond is senior for the Riverhawks. He's got 4 RBIs on the season, 3 doubles.
Pops that one up into left field.
That should be caught,
and it is caught there in the left field, and. So the runner can't advance as it goes. Well, they throw the ball away. As they're trying to throw it into the infield, nobody really went for it, and then it just went into the Ridgeline dugout.
Boy, when you catch that in left field, you need to make sure you hit your cutoff, John, especially with the guy on first. Instead, he just came up firing and went over his cutoff's head, and then was out of play for the second baseman, rolled all the way to the Ridgeline dugout, and Cade Smith easily advances to second on that errant throw by Stetson Karen. So up to bat for the Riverhawks, Rami Jensen. So first time we've seen Jensen here. I believe that's number 3, isn't that, John?
Yep, it is.
That is Jensen.
So Romy Jensen up to bat.
Again, Coach Jensen getting everybody some time, and that's smart, John. That's probably the right thing to do. You've got a 14-2 lead. You got to get some younger guys and some guys that don't get as many innings. Get them better. Get them some innings.
Yeah, you want to do that, especially heading into the playoffs. Pops it up to short, and it falls.
Oh wow!
It was in between the pitcher and short. It wasn't a hard hit ball, but it gets in between the Skyview Bobcats, and just that little blooper, so he's got himself a single.
Just a little can of corn there between third, short, and pitcher all converged on that. And Tyker Nils said to the pitcher, you had McKay trying to catch that over his shoulder, and Nils like, I'll get that next one. So, and that's probably his ball. He's moving forward while McKay's moving out towards third. So, but it does put runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Bobcats. Tough situation here. Ridgeline again looking to score some runs.
Yeah, Carter Williams up to bat, I believe, is who is in there now.
That's correct. That's Carter Williams for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, the 5'10 junior.
Williams, see if we can get you some stats on him there. Don't know if we have any hitting stats on him yet. So.
And it's a pitch that goes past the catcher. A run will score. Wild pitch, and so in to score.
Cade Smith
is
scores.
Cade Smith, yep. So Ridgeline adds another one, and we'll just have to disagree with the scoreboard here in the stadium.
Yeah, 15-2. Romy Jensen advances to second. So Carter Williams, 2 outs. The Bobcats have 2 outs. And
here in the top of the 4th.
They're facing a runner on second for Ridgeline, and Carter Williams up to bat.
Ball 1, strike 1. Pitch hit straight back. As he got a piece of it, but it went straight back into the fence, Williams did. So ball 1, strike 2 with 2 outs here. Man on second for the Riverhawks.
Good pitch by McKay. See if he can get out of this little quasi-jam here.
There's the pitch. It's outside.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
He's giving it to him all day. There's the off speed. That's the breaking ball that paints that outside corner on the right-handers. This ump has been generous with that spot all day. Neither coaching staff argues about that too much, right?
Yep. So 4 strikeouts on the day for Peyton McKay. He's given up some runs, but he's got 4 strikeouts as he gets Carter Williams looking on that outside corner. So 14-2, bottom of the 4th inning coming up next for the Bobcats. And let's see, it should be Watterson. He was out, so it should be Stetson Karen, we think.
I believe it is Stetson. It's Stetson Karen. I'm pretty sure of that as well, John. Waiting to see him come out of the dugout, but I believe it is. Fulmer back on the hill for the Riverhawks. They may as well let him get some innings under his arm here, and he's thrown well. And I just keep him going, John. There's no reason at this point not to. You're going to get everybody else playing time. If you're Ridgeline, you're getting everybody else playing time in the field, and you're getting them time at the dish. So you may as well let Fulmer just keep working. He's thrown a gem so far.
Stetson Karen, the senior, he's going to Ripon College in Wisconsin after his high school playing days here.
Going to play baseball, John?
I think so. That's what Coach Neal was telling me. So he was out in the first inning. Of course, this game brought to you here on 104.5 The Ranch by Great Basin Graphics. Come see Great Basin Graphics at 966 West, 400 North, Suite 15 in Logan. With quality screen printing and detailed embroidery, Great Basin Graphics is sure to make you look.
Yeah, they will make you look.
And he painted the outside corner, did Davis Fulmer, and he made Stetson look there. So
we sound like a broken record, Bobcat fans and Riverhawk fans, but it is true. They're giving this outside corner being very generous.
Well, Stetson got a piece of that one, Karen did, but fouls it back, so strike 2.
So, John, how many kids? Skyview's got a couple players that are going to go play baseball then, Stetson Karen and Cole Watterson.
And also, let me see, there's one other player, Cole Lundahl. Coach Neal wasn't sure, as this one's fouled back for another strike, but it's still strike 2. But he was telling me that it's a school in Florida, but he wasn't sure where he couldn't remember the school, and then he didn't get back with me before the game. So no balls, 2 strikes, pitches on the way, and it's low. He swings, Catcher throws it to first, and he'll be out.
Ball was in the dirt. A new catcher in there for Ridgeline. Smartly whips that down to first. Talking about Stetson Karen, John, he showed off some athleticism in left field. He's got an 86% fielding percentage. He's got 23 putouts on the season in left field and 2 assists. So pretty good stats for a left fielder. He's a good fielder as well as just a good baseball player in general.
Yeah, 15-2, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Seth Chambers up to bat. He struck out his first time in the 2nd inning, and he takes a strike there on the first pitch by Fulmer.
Fulmer having himself a jam, 1-hitter, John, in the we're in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. Again, Fulmer just really on a roll. I probably maybe pitch him 1 more inning, John, and let him finish this thing up, or at least try to.
And this one's fouled back as well, hits the fence. But yeah, I think you just you ride with him, you let him go. I can't remember.
His pitch count's really low as well, too. It's not like he's putting a lot of pitches on his arm to get here.
Yeah, so. The winning pitcher, Miller, was the winning pitcher. He pitched 7 innings the other night. It's hit to second baseman, and they're going to call him safe.
Wow.
He outran it. The second baseman knocked it down, but he couldn't get it over to the first base in time, so Seth Chambers runs it out, gets a single.
Nice job by Seth Chambers. That they're going to credit. I would assume. We'll wait and see, but I would think that you would call that an E4 there, John. I haven't seen the error get thrown up there for Ridgeline, but that was a routine grounder that probably should have been made. But things happen out there. The ball comes at you fast. So.
Yep. Tucker Murdoch up to bat for the Bobcats.
Runner on first here. Ridgeline going to look for that double play ball with 1 out.
Swings and misses. Looked like a breaking ball there to the outside.
Yeah, nice pitch. That thing was moving a long way away from Murdoch. Great pitch to the.
Yeah, it went away from him. Yep. So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, they throw back to first. They are called safe.
Well, that was pretty close. Chambers jumped back there, head first dive, and it was close.
I was going to say Dalkey did a good job there at first base to apply that tag, and probably about got him.
Very nice sweep by Dalkey over at first base. That's what you're taught as a kid growing up. That ball comes, you catch and sweep.
And that pitch is high. It'll be a ball, so ball 1, strike 1, 1 out for the Bobcats. As the wind is almost completely died down.
Yeah, the flags are barely moving. That flag out in left field, John, it's just kind of trickling around there. So
yeah, sun can't really fight its way through the clouds, though.
Still a great temperature for baseball. We have jackets on, but it's really not too bad, John. It's about time we get a good game like this, because tomorrow's supposed to be miserable. That's why they move these games up, correct?
Yeah, that's why it was moved up. It was supposed to be Friday at 3:30, but they moved it up because they could tell the weather was going to be poor. So low pitch is another ball 3, strike 1. Yeah, the ADs got together after the game yesterday, and then Ryan Grunig from Skyview called me and told me that's when the game would be moved up to Thursday. So ball 3, strike 1, 1 out. Pitch is on the way. It's popped up, and this one's going to be yours, Clint.
If I stood up, John, it would have been mine, huh?
That one was for you. That came right back to us. So it's going to be a full count now.
It's about 1 arm's length away from me there. I reached out as far as I couldn't quite get her, John.
Yeah, that one, it looked like it was going to come right in your lap. Tucker Murdoch on the full count pops that one out.
Out of play down the right field line.
Yep.
We've got a fan coming in, and she
thought about it. She was like, I'm going to go get it. And then she's like, you know what? That's not my job. I don't get paid for it. And so she walks away. She did. She watched it. You could tell it was in her head, hey, I might actually get this.
Yeah, it took a couple steps back, and then Kyler Cardis goes to get it for the Ridgeline Riverhawks.
And it's swung on, and it's hit into the right field. And it's caught for the out. They throw back to first, and it is a double play as they caught Skyview off there. So the double play.
Yeah, Chambers had the steal sign. Chambers went on the pitch, and it was just a rope to the right fielder who caught that thing and threw it right back to Dalkey for the double play. Nice play by Ridgeline to get out of that inning.
Yep. So we head to the top of the 5th. It's 15-2. Ridgeline leading Skyview. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back here with the top of the 5th inning coming up next here on 104.5 FM, the ranch.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
Sack lunch, picnic lunch, business lunch. There's nothing better or more satisfying than the lunch special at Old Grist Mill. It's lunch the way Mother Nature intended. All natural bread, the perfect amount of meat, veggies to your liking. And then it only gets better with your choice of a fresh-baked cookie, chips, and drink. You know what we're talking about, that famous Old Grist Mill lunch special. Get your made-to-order special at the South Logan, and now Smithville locations. Old Grist Mill, here for you.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. We've got a new pitcher here to the top of the 5th inning for the Bobcats. It's Aiden McPhee. He is a sophomore, class of 2024, so he's going to relieve Peyton McKay, who ended up with 4 strikeouts and did a pretty good job.
McKay did a good job. He just kept grinding, That's all you want out of him here. We'll see what McPhee does, John. He has a nice bender. He's thrown a few of these in warm-ups here. Looks pretty nice. He's got a lot of movement on that off-speed pitch.
So again, thank you for joining us here for Region 11 Spring Sports on 104.5 The Ranch, and also if you're watching the video stream on CashValleyDaily.com. Again, this is the baseball game that we've got going between Skyview and Ridgeline, but later tonight at 7 o'clock, tune in because we'll have boys soccer. It will be Green Canyon hosting the Mountain Crest Mustangs in a rematch where Green Canyon took down the Mustangs in Hiram 1-0. A good matchup there, and AJ Knight and John Russell will have that matchup.
Beauty, isn't it?
It will be. The soccer we did. Trying to remember which game I did. It was Green Canyon and Mountain Crest. I think that I couldn't have done that game. It was Green Canyon and somebody. I remember. Oh, it was Logan. Maybe. Yeah, it was Green Canyon and Logan, the game I did. So
hey, John, you and I, again, we talked football earlier. I was just thinking about this. When was the last time that this region is going to only have basically one quarterback coming back with any experience? Bear River will have 2 that have had a little experience, but 1 starter coming back. When was the last time you've seen like a whole region turn over their quarterbacking play? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. And when you look at it, the trend in the NFL or even in college, you got a lot of offensive-minded coaches.
Right.
There's a lot of defensive-minded coaches in Region 11 as well.
That's right.
So that's something else. But football's just exciting. And Region 11, the northern schools are just been pretty dominant the last few years. I think they've won the state title the last 3 years, right? It was Ridgeline last year undefeated, and Skyview the year before.
Yep,
and they were undefeated. Yeah, but they were undefeated the year before. Yep. So the Region 11, 2 undefeated season state championships. And then, like you mentioned, Skyview won the back-to-back, and really the year before that, Skyview got upset by Park City. Right. Otherwise, they could have had a third.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because the Mason Falsliff was a junior that year, right?
Yeah, and then Park City went on to get throttled. Who was that down there? Was it Desert Hills?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Desert Hills sounds right, or maybe it was Pineview that year.
Now Pineview, it wasn't because Ray Hosner has not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's true. Yeah,
he's got that long streak going, huh?
Yes, he does. So
nice pitch by McPhee, John. A little bender that goes outside and into the dirt. But you had number 22, Cam Blotter. He was swinging, and there's no chance he was getting to that thing on that bender to the outside. McPhee 2-2 count here. In the top of 5. McPhee, first time we've seen him on the mound tonight.
And Blotter rips it to shortstop. The throw to first is in time. It was a nice rip by Blotter, but the shortstop gobbled it up and got him out at first.
Beautiful play by Seth Chambers. That's how that one earlier was supposed to look. It was a very, very nice play by Seth Chambers. Yeah, well done.
Skyview gets the out there.
So the big fella's batting still. They haven't pulled Easton Dalkey out of the lineup. Dalkey, excellent first baseman, John. He's made some nice plays over there at first for Ridgeline here.
Yeah, 4 RBIs on 2 singles
nice
for Dalkey today.
Oh, there it is. There's that bender we talked about. Woo! McPhee with a lot of movement, John.
Yeah, you could see Dalkey. His knees just kind of flinched and collapsed there.
Boy, if you are
that
Coach Neal, you said McPhee's a sophomore, right?
Yes.
Boy, Coach Neal's got some stuff to work with here. That McPhee is, he's only a sophomore, but he can do some things with the ball in his hand. That bender's as good as we've seen. It has the most movement of any of the pitchers we've seen.
That was
today.
a wicked pitch. Ball 1, strike 1 to Dalkey. He takes a ball outside in the dirt. So ball 2, strike 1.
McPhee living on that off speed though. That's 3 straight off speed pitches in a row. I think Dalkey, he's got the a hitter's count here. He's going to look for something down the middle.
Yep, 15-2 Ridgeline, top of the 5th inning. They lead Skyview. Takes one inside, and Dalkey kind of thought that it might get him, and so he kind of went back, but the ump calls a strike. So ball 2, strike 2.
Now back to a pitcher's count for McPhee. He can waste one here, so let's see what he comes up with. See if I would assume he'll throw something off speed, and he does.
And Dalkey, he timed it and crushes it out to the outfield, but
Watterson
with his speed, it looked like it would get down, but Watterson tracked it down, so gets the out on the pop out into left center.
Again, Watterson had a rough day on the hill to start the game, John. But you can't say enough about the way that kid plays center field. I said it earlier, Bobcat fans, you got a gem out there in center field. I know you're having a tough season, but he's worth watching out in center field. He's dynamite out there.
Yeah. So Noah Sim up to bat now.
Sim, he started the game for the Bobcats at second base, for the Ridgeline Riverhawks at second base. Sim did, and they didn't bat him, so they had him getting DH'd, but they've got him in the lineup now. So we'll see what Sim can do.
Top of the 5th inning, take a ball on the first pitch.
McPhee into the windup.
And Sim pops it off to the right side, out of play.
Over by the tennis courts, and number 1, Trey Purser. He's there's your big hitter. There's your your hitting star for Ridgeline now. Since he's out of the game, he's got to go get foul balls, John.
Hey,
you got to do the duty, right?
He's doing it all. He might go to the concession stand next.
yeah, I never know.
And fouled back, so he might as well go get that one too.
Yeah, that puts him another 20 feet closer to the concession stand, John. He can go get a hot dog, huh?
Well, they must have heard us, and so that's what Sim did. He's like, hey, go get me some popcorn while you're there.
Yeah, get me something to eat here. All right, 1-2 count for McPhee. 2 outs. See if McPhee can get out of this.
Pitch is on the way, and Sim drives it into center field right to Watterson. Goes back a little bit, makes the catch, and so the Ridgeline, another pop out. And
right in order for McPhee, John.
That's right. So McPhee comes in, the sophomore, 3 up, 3 down, and it's 15-2 heading into the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, I like that. I like McPhee. He's good on the mound. We'll see what he can do if next inning. Looks like Davis Fulmer's coming back out, John. They're just going to keep him out there. Again, pitch count so low. Og Jensen, there's no reason to rotate him out. His pitch count's really low.
Again, if you're watching on CashValleyDaily.com, your video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com to schedule a time with an advisor today. They bring you Region 11 Spring Sports here on 104.5 FM The Ranch and also on CashValleyDaily.com. But Clint, again, Ridgeline coming into this, they were trying to close out the series and sweep the Bobcats, and I mean, obviously they took care of business on Watterson in that first inning, and they haven't looked back as they lead 15-2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Coach Jensen came in with that philosophy, I'm sure. He says, hey, we can't afford to drop this one. Mountain Crest got 2 on us. Bear River's undefeated in region. We have to stay in the hunt. Because really, John, if they lose this, they don't control their own destiny. If they win it, they can still control their own destiny. They'd have to sweep Bear River in that last series, but you want to chance, right? That gives you a chance. And Bear River still has to play Mountain Crest. So you're just looking for that chance. So Coach Jensen came in, wanted throttle down, and boy, did he get it. These guys were swinging the bats today for the Riverhawks, manufacturing runs, driving balls into the gap. Excellent day for the this Riverhawk baseball team, especially from the plate, John. And you know what? Mix in some good pitching by Davis Fulmer. He's only given up one hit. He hasn't been overpowering at all. He's hitting his spots, and guys are playing defense behind him.
Yeah, that's what's happening. He's only had 2 strikeouts. Like you say, he's not overpowering the Bobcats, but when they've hit the ball back to him, he's used the leather and done a good job there, and then, everybody else is backing him up. But another reason for Ridgeline to win this, their RPI, even though they've got a good record overall on the season, their RPI is only 10. I was surprised to see that they were that low. But the first pitch is swung on and hit, little blooper to right field, and I believe makes the catch
Bridger
there.
Hammond on the run over there, and he came down with a great play by Hammond. His hat blows off as he's running, and he comes down with it. Really, really good effort by Bridger Hammond, the right fielder for the Riverhawks.
So Carleen pops out to right field, or was that Carleen? I'm not sure. Trying to catch the number there.
It's tough to see that on those Skyview uniforms a little bit. Cade Sunderland, the only guy to get a hit here off of Fulmer, is up to bat now. We'll see what Sunderland can do.
First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Sutherland also had that stolen base when he was out there.
And took home on that wild pitch. Sunderland scored one of those 2 runs. He's had himself a game. He's been the best Bobcat on the field today, in my opinion. Yeah,
he pops that one out to right field. I believe the person on the cell phone there,
he got it. Yeah,
he got it. But the thing about it too, he actually watched the ball, which is good because he was on his phone, and sometimes, you get distracted. So no ball, 2 strikes, and catches him swinging as Sutherland chased a ball out of the zone.
Really good pitch outside by Fulmer. Yep. Really good pitch. Yeah, that fan over there, John, he used to at least paying attention on his phone. Sometimes you wear one of those in the noggin, huh?
Yeah, you end up with a good old goose egg there top of the head. So 15-2, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs.
Hey, we're having a good time here, Ridgeline Skyview fans. This is Clint Payne and John Newbold on the call. It's a good day, John.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it was windier earlier in pregame and at the start of the game, but it's died down. I mean, it's barely blowing at all. And it was coming in from the west right at the batters, so I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of hits, to home run. Tyker Neal gets a piece of that one and kind of jammed him and go in the shallow right. Yeah, shallow right field, and Smith makes the catch from his position, and Skyview goes down 1-2-3. Good inning there of pitching by Davis Fulmer as we head to the I think that's it.
That's going to do it, John.
I was going to say they head to the 6th, but nope, that's it.
That's going to do it. That's going to be the run rule there after 5. So Fulmer's going to get the win. Watterson will take the loss on the hill. And Ridgeline, John, on the season is going to advance to 12-6. They'll move to 7-2 in region play. And Skyview will fall to 0-17, unfortunately, in 0-8 in region play. Skyview, though, going to get a win next week, John. I'm feeling it against Logan. I think they win that. I think they win the series, too. Not just one win. I think they win the series. 2, they may even sweep Logan, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah, so Skyview, they start their series next Tuesday at Logan, and then Ridgeline, they will host Green Canyon there in Millville. So that, and as we look at the standings, Green Canyon 2-5 in region, 9-8 overall. Logan, like you mentioned, 1-13 overall, 0-8 in region. Skyview falls to 0-8 now and 0-17. So yeah, something's got to give there when you have one combined total win between the 2 squads.
Right, and honestly, I feel like in region play, Skyview scored more runs. They've given up less runs. I think that they win at least 2 of those games, in my opinion. And then the series next week, John. How about that classic that's brewing, Mountain Crest Bear River? That's going to be a good one.
That really will be. A Mountain Crest, they made a great run in the state tournament last year, and their pitching has been maybe something that I heard Nick Zollinger and Dave Simmons when Ridgeline and Mountain Crest met, that they kind of talked about that pitching was maybe a thing for Mountain Crest on the season. They had some young pitchers, but they just made plays when they needed to against that Ridgeline squad to take 2 out of the 3 in that series. But yeah, Bear River, they've been a juggernaut, and they always are in softball and baseball.
Coach Trace Hansen down there taking over for his dad, figuring some things out at Mountain Crest. They're only 9-8 on the season, but they had some early tough games, John. Non-region games. They're 7-1 in region play and have really flipped the switch, flipped the script in region play. And Bear River, an interesting team. Again, they're 15-3 on the season, 8-0 in region play. But where Bear River kills you is they haven't hit a home run all year. No power at all, but they manufacture runs. They play small ball. They speed you up, and they've had good pitching. The two Harrow boys, Ashton and Hunter Harrow, great pitchers, and then you just mix in a couple of sophomores. But again, I worry about their depth as you go down and play those southern teams. Yeah. So, but Mountain Crest, Bear River will be a fun one. And again, really, Ridgeline or Skyview and Skyview Logan, two teams that need wins, and that'll be a fun series too. Yep.
So that's going to do it here in Smithfield. But again, stay tuned later today on The Ranch 104.5 FM and on CashValleyDaily.com for the video streaming. Again, boys soccer later tonight. AJ Knight, John Russell will have all the action around 6:50 for pregame, 7 o'clock for kickoff, and it's Green Canyon and Mountain Crest in North Logan. That game will be there for the Region 11 Spring Sports. And if you want to find out the full schedule for Region 11 Spring Sports, our broadcast, go ahead and go to CashValleyDaily.com on the left side. Click the tab there, and then it has, if you go to Prep Sports, I believe, there's a whole schedule there that you can check out and find out the rest of our schedule the rest of the year. But Clint, thanks so much for coming up, making the trip to this game, and it's been a fun time. It was good to catch up.
Yeah, it's always good to catch up, John. It's been a blast. I appreciate you having me, and I'm assuming we'll try to do it again here before the season's over. And I look forward to we'll probably do a football or basketball game here. We always seem to try to find a way to get a game together, right?
Yep, and it will be exciting again with the fall and winter sports, and you know, the Cache Valley Media Group. We're proud to bring you all these high school local sports. But again, for all our sponsors, Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Old Gristmill, and the Logo Shop. That's going to do it. 15-2 is the final. Ridgeline over the Bobcats. For Dallin Dacus back in studio, and for Ryan Grunig, the athletic director here at Skyview, helping us get set up. For Clint Payne and myself, John Newbold. Have a great night, everybody. And again, 15-2 is the final. Ridgeline over Skyview.